Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? Let me fix my camera really quick. I forgot to turn off the auto adjust before I started streaming. We're playing more Blitz tonight. I'm pretty excited after playing Blitz last night. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. Okay. I'm pretty excited after playing Blitz last night. I actually had a pretty good time playing Blitz last night. I don't know, like the Bravo and the Dash database like really offered a lot of like puzzling questions to me that like I feel like it's really fun to like try and figure that out the longer the game goes on. There's a lot of intricacy there, so I'm pretty excited to play more games tonight. Bravo and Blitz honestly kind of feels like block a lot, and then if they give you a turn, throw whatever you can, which I know is like kind of Bravo and CC too, but like there's, I don't know, like it just like it's easier to fatigue certain decks in Blitz. So my plan to run Naira for the skirmish has been thwarted. I mean, yeah, I saw that. I saw that Ira has reached the limit, and she will forever rest in a crimson haze. I have been waiting to make that joke all day. I just need you guys to know that. So I'm glad that somebody brought up Ira early on into the stream. Ben said that's good because I'm Blitz currently. Man, I can't imagine you drunk, dude. I just can't imagine that. Yeah, so we're going to start off with Bravo tonight since we played Dash Database first last night. So we're going to start with Bravo tonight, and then probably around 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in that ballpark, we'll swap over to Dash Database. I feel like Dash Database needs more time to play games just based on like the level of intricacy and like how much thinking I have to do when I'm actually playing her. I guess against Prism we want to go first. I would say, like if I had to pick one, I'd pick going first against Prism. This feels like not a fun matchup, honestly. Am I supposed to bring in Pulverize? I don't think I'm supposed to bring in Pulverize. I'm probably supposed to take out the Oasis Respites and bring in the Come to Fights because they're just extra value. I mean, we have a lot of poppers, so we'll see what happens here. I could just throw the Starstruck here. I could make a Surge and throw the Crippling Crush. I kind of like that. I don't like not arsenaling something. So we'll just go ahead and do that, and then throw Crippling Crush here on turn 0. It's a pretty hefty attack to start the game. Oh, Ben with a Hydrate, making sure that we stay nice and refreshed. How was your day? My day was good, man. It was good. I went to work and worked on a project, and now I took a nap before cards and hung out with Carly a little bit, and now we're playing cards. So I'm pretty excited to get to play some cards here. How was your day, man? You have a good day? My opponent? I was like, there's no way my opponent's about to take 5, right? I mean, they could have just flashed the Arclight Sentinel there. I definitely would have just thrown the hammer and arsenaled my Crippling Crush, though, if they had done that. So we'll go Starstruck blue. This is definitely going to be a pitch stacking matchup. This is going to be... I have not played this matchup in a really long time. Luminaris Prism versus Bravo. I'm actually really intrigued to see how this matchup goes. I mean, block 3, like, I guess they could have a... I'm just going to take a chance that they don't have like a War Tune Herald or something here. Your day was incredible? Dude, that's awesome, Ben. I'm glad to hear it, man. Amazing. You love to hear it. All right, so they arsenal their card. We pop off Seismic Surge. We make another Seismic Surge, and then we swing the hammer at the Parable of Humility here. We're already on the back foot trying to keep the board clear, but we're going to try and do what we can. I imagine this matchup, we're trying to fatigue our opponent here. Maybe should have brought in Arcane Barrier in the legs. Maybe that's like what we're trying to do here. Should have brought that in. Yeah, Merciful Retribution. We're immediately seeing the value of them having of my opponent having Arcane Barrier. Or like that we wanted Arcane Barrier, not of them having Arcane Barrier, that we wanted Arcane Barrier. See, and this is where it'd be good to have a go again attack. Having go again here would be really good because like we could just... Oh boy. We're going to swing at Merciful Retribution, and I guess we're going to pitch Command and Conquer and Showtime here. Oh boy, we're already on the back foot. I forgot how abysmal this matchup was. Maybe I'm just supposed to like go ham, like play aggro stuff and just like try to go off here. Because we have to put pressure on them to keep the Spectral Shields off the board. Just warming up? Yeah, man, I hope so. I hope so. Trying to warm up here. I mean, we should stop the damage where we can, right? Give the 8 there instead of the 7 because they have the capability to actually play a Parable of Humility, and then we can't pop that. So I think that actually blocking with the 8 there was the correct decision. I think we have to take 1 here. Are they gonna end on an aura here? No, they're gonna come in for 1 more here. Now we can pop with this because we know that they can't play Parable at this point in the game, so we're good to go here. All right, the problem is that they'll run us out of poppers. Like, they're gonna go up to 31 and then down to 27. And we're just gonna swing, lay hammer here. Kill the Shimmer. And we're up 3 cards currently. We have 3 poppers in our hand. Might look at crowning this away to try and like keep some poppers, like, you know, just like cycling through here. Keep some poppers cycling through and maybe Arsenal to come to fight. When this attacks, name a card. Cards with that name are illusionists. I guess I want to pop here in case they have a... I want to pop with the choke slam here in case they have a
You love to see it.
In case they have a having a stroke, a triumph in their hand. Yo, Roast and Toast, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate you following on Twitch, man. I've seen you playing. I was like, I recognize you from Nationals, man. I was like, I recognize you from Nationals. You were on Fatigue Briar Nationals, weren't you? What bowl game does Carolina play in? Carolina's playing in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. So, I mean, nothing to write home about, but I feel like not bad one either. Not a bad one though. I mean, we're playing... I can't remember who we're playing. I popped up as somebody, and I remember thinking, God, we're going to lose to them, but I can't remember who we were playing. Part of me thinks like this might just be a throw a Spinal Crush turn. Since they've left us with 3 cards here. I don't know, maybe I'm just supposed to have some poise here and just hammer the Pierce Reality. The Spectral Shields get really out of hand really quick, and that's honestly how we lose the game, is by letting the Spectral Shields stay on the board. And we need to have turns where we're actually attacking our opponent and making sure that we can keep them on the back foot. Thanks for the raid the other day, by the way. Yeah, man, absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. I love raiding people when I'm done streaming, man. Especially other people that are playing Flesh and Blood, brother. Flesh and Blood's an awesome community, man, and I love to keep viewers in the community if I can, man. I love to if I can. And also, yes, I was. Yeah. I thought that was you. We also played at we played the Oldemir at a ProQuest or an RTN in Kentucky, I think. I think you were on a list that was like that. Like, I remember, like, you rickrolled me. My list was set up to fatigue Lexi hard, and I remember like you were playing like a more well-rounded Oldham list, and I remember, dude, you rickrolled me. Absolutely rickrolled me, brother. Drake May and Charlotte could have happened if we didn't go for Bryce Young. I did notice that the game was in Charlotte, Jim. I am actually very excited. I'm honestly, Carly and I had talked about going since it's in Charlotte. My cousin Ben, that you probably see in the Twitch chat, actually lives right outside of Charlotte, and we were thinking about going. Tunic hasn't resolved yet, brother. We were thinking about going and like trying to go see him play. I'm a big Carolina fan. Always have been since I was a kid. So let's go like this. So I mean, yeah, like to go see Carolina play if I can. Is that Jim? I'm gonna take that as a yes. I would say, Drew, I would say that's Jim. Should I know Jim? Am I a boob for not knowing Jim? That's very possible. Okay, so now they have go again on everything, which is like pretty rough for us. I mean, we have to kill the Genesis here. So I think we're looking at block with Pummel. Like, nothing's going to get buffed here, so we're probably just going to block with Pummel, block with Showtime. Yeah, I guess like if we block with Showtime here, then we can pitch both of these to make a surge and kill the Genesis here and try to do something. I'm not speaking to you, Drew, after that shellacking your Bolton gave me the other night. Oh, so you know Jim very well. You know Jim? He was the judge for the Victory Point ProQuest LMAO. Oh! He's the judge in Charlotte, right? Yeah. It's true. I'm often in the Bumblebees, dude. Yeah. Okay, so like your name sounded familiar when it popped up, but yeah, dude, you judge all the ProQuests that we come through out in Charlotte, man. Like all in that local area. I was like, dude, I have really tried to go out of my way over the last, like, I don't know. I would say like the last, like, I probably should have blocked with Civic Steps on one of those, honestly. I have tried to go out of my way to like tell you how good of a job you do judging events, man, and running events. Because I mean, Jim, like wholeheartedly, brother, you do a great job running events. And like just like making them feel like very just making them like very smooth, and like, you know, like you really explain the rules well. Like you do a really good job judging events, man. Like I appreciate all the time and effort that you put into it, brother. It's I know it's not always easy and people aren't always grateful, but you do a really good job, man. You do a really good job. We're gonna go Macho Grande and disable. Oh my gosh! And is Nathan Crawford in the chat? What is happening? Look at all these celebrities in the community hanging out in the chat, man. Dude, Nathan, welcome to the channel, man. Thanks for hanging out on Twitch. I appreciate it. Flashing in another Genesis. Ugh. This is such an abysmal matchup. I honestly forgot how bad of a matchup this was for me as Bravo. Like, it's been so long since I've played this matchup, dude. It has been so long. I try to run a smooth fun show, dude. Absolutely, you do a great job. And you're getting a lot of love in the chat, man. I was like, everybody who's been to an event knows that you run a great one, man. Hats off to Jim, and thanks so much. Yeah, dude, absolutely, you're welcome. Jim is the homie for sure, dude. 100%. So we just have to kill. I mean, we have to kill the Genesis, right? Like, Passing Mirage and Genesis are like both like really bad for us. Like, I don't think there's a world where I'm ever letting the Genesis stick around. Like, it's just an extra spectral shield. So And there's not a way for me to arsenal my pummel and get rid of everything here. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to... If I pitch pummel to activate tech plating, and then pitch Macho Grande to activate Bravo, and then pitch Chokeslam to activate Hammer, we can pitch stack some poppers, and we can also like get the most cards out of our hand and arsenal the Terra Sunder to make our Crown of Providence potentially better. Or I really want to arsenal the pummel though, in case there is an opportunity for us to like try and dominate something and like take, because we're running out of room where we can take some damage here and actually make stuff happen. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna pitch the Macho Grande to Tectonic Plating, and then I'm just gonna hammer the Genesis here with the Terra Sunder, and we're just gonna arsenal the pummel and see if it plays out in a positive way for us. If we draw a Crippling Crush, I think there's a Crippling Crush in the deck. There's a Spinal Crush, although I'm pretty sure I pitched the Spinal Crush at some point. Well, they have a Herald hand, which means we're probably just supposed to block here. I don't know. This is really tough. The last one was as easy as it gets. Hardest one was a guy left Voltaire at home. Dude, that is a guy on my team. That is a guy on my team and a good buddy of mine. Yeah, the guy who left Voltaire at home is a good friend of mine. Oh man, I cannot wait to tell him that you were in here talking about that. Oh, that's hilarious. If anybody's heading down to Orlando, I'll see you all there. Oh, dude, I wish I could go, man. I wish I could go. Pummel the Genesis for all the Prism haters. I love it, Frenzy. I love it. Let them know what's up, right? Let them know what's up. Honestly, we're probably just supposed to block with the Crippling Crush here, or maybe I'm supposed to block with the Chokeslam. Oh, this has no Phantasm, so maybe I'm just supposed to give some equipment here. I don't know. This is tough. So many instants. Discard what now? Come to fight in Bravo, I'm all for it. Yeah, that's a card we've been like trying to test a little bit and like seeing how good it is. I mean, I guess like I could just block 6 here with equipment, put the Come to Fight on the bottom, and then just try to play my Crippling Crush plan here and hope that it's not too bad. That I don't know. Wartune Herald like doesn't really have a massive on-hit effect though. Maybe I'm just supposed to block with Crown here. I don't really want to take a lot of damage though. Yeah, let's block 6 and see what happens. I don't know. We could just block 9. I think we're just going to have a turn where we try to play offense, and putting Come to Fight on the bottom might be the answer to that. I mean, so this is what we're looking for. Now we just have to hope that we can keep cards here. I don't know if it's going to pan out the way we want or not, but... So if they didn't have so many cards in hand, we could just block with the Civic Steps on one of these. I mean, we know that all of these are coming in, but... Well, I guess if they have stuff that's coming in, it's going to have Go Again anyway. The only problem would be is like if they have a Command and Conquer or something they want to play, which I'm pretty sure Prism does play. I feel like this matchup is not as bad as like it's not as bad as like I feel like I've played it to be. I don't know, that like it could just be worse than I remember, but I feel like I've definitely played this incorrectly to this point. I don't know, like I feel like I tried to keep the board clear and tried to play if it's a Herald, it's gonna have Go Again anyway, right? I guess let's just go to 5 and see what follows it up here. Maybe we're lucky and they just add another blue aura to the board, which is like sad that that's what I'm hoping for at this point. Oh, wow. That is so bad. Well, I think that's just going to kill me. I think that does me in here. Because if I go to 4... Let's go to 4. I don't know. I don't really think we're winning this game at this point anyway. I think we're just gonna have to hope for a Hail Mary here a little bit. Like, here's where they flash in Arc Light and I cry myself to sleep. So if they had Arc Light, I mean, they're going to flash it in on the Surge popping, right? Like, so I don't think I'm, like, disincentivized to do this. Like, I think that making the Surge is a correct play because if they have it, they're just going to flash it in. And I'm just dead to that now. Oh, so they did have the Arc Light, but they decided to just go for the kill this way. And since we don't have Arcane Barrier, we're just dead. Yeah, me believing in Civic Steps was a total punt. It has been so long since I played this matchup, and like I'm just totally seeing like my like lack of playing this matchup regularly just like bite me in the butt right here. And then we'll play this even though we're dead. Doesn't really matter. We'll deal some damage on the way out. Yeah, that was tough. Game definitely should have went longer than 8 turns, but that was tough. That was, man, that felt rough. God, and I know there's going to be somebody at my locals playing Prism if I decide to play Bravo this weekend at my skirmish. All right, we played Bravo. We were on Talishar. We played Prism. We went first. Loss. Board got out of hand. Forgot AB. And died to Merciful. Man, I feel like that's a pretty apt description. Like, I let the board get too far out of hand. Not that I mean, I can only, like, help it so much. I feel like there's only so much like combating I can do to like actually like, you know, help that like without go again. Like there's no Zealous in our in the list that we've put together here. And I don't know like if Zealous is supposed to be in the list. Like maybe we're supposed to cut Respites and play Zealous, but I really like Respite. It's really helped me like try and play Fatigue into like some of the dash lists lately. And it's like really, I don't know, like it felt like Oasis Respite felt really good last night, but we also played against Dash Database 3 times in our 5 games. So I don't know, we'll take that for what it's worth. I guess we're gonna go first against Briar. I haven't played against Briar in a really long time, so we'll see what happens. Prism is kind of goated in Blitz. Yeah, dude, Prism was like really good in CC too. Like Prism was insane. I guess we'll cut the Civic Steps and bring in Arcane Barrier. I think we want Buckler and Titan's Fist here. Like just the extra block, and we want to rely on our heavy attacks to like really try and push us over the finish line here. I don't think we want AB2, but and with Rosetta Thorn in this format, I think we're going to see Oasis Respite have a lot of value here. I think I want to arsenal the Respite here. I don't think I want to let them filter. Do I want to activate Bravo here? Activate Bravo, pitch Crippling Crush and Unmovable, arsenal the Respite. Or I could activate Bravo, pitching Respite and the Unmovable, and then arsenal the Crippling Crush. That's probably a better play. And we'll just pass. We'll go Spinal, Unmovable, then Respite. And then hopefully we can get some early tempo. We can't take too much damage early on because if we do, we'll get put in a bad spot. This is like, Briar's pretty favored in this matchup, in my opinion. At least they are in CC. I don't know a ton about this matchup in Blitz. Blitz is not my forte. If anybody in the chat who like knows me well will tell you that like Blitz is not my thing, that I play Blitz because it's skirmish season and I need to play Blitz, and that's really why. Respite sucks only when you have Tunic in your list, in my opinion. Are you saying Respite sucks unless you have Tunic in your list, or are you saying Respite sucks if you have Tunic in your list? So it's because I feel like you're saying that like it's not I mean, I can take the arcane and just block with one here. And just block the 2 because there's no more arcane here. Like, that's fine, because I can still dominate the Crippling Crush and get a lot of their equipment here, which is exactly what I want to be able to do here. So, yeah, because if you're saying that Respite is like bad unless I have Tunic in my list, like I'm pretty inclined to agree with you. And that was a lot of my thoughts last night, is that I really didn't like Respite without Tunic, and I think I'm really feeling that in this current list, because like when I was playing last night, I definitely thought to myself that I need Tunic to be able to do this. And like we played Respite in Oldham, and so like I think that was just kind of like where the blocking idea came from. We'd originally talked about playing Sink Below, but we decided that Respite was better into like Emperor and like Icelander and Kano. But really, the only arcane deck you're worried about playing into right now is Emperor. Tunic make Respite good, otherwise usually card disadvantage. Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you. So we went Spinal, Unmovable, Respite. We'll go Macho Grande, and then we'll start off with a Terra Sunder in our second hand here. Okay, so they're going to play CMH and pass here. And then I'm going to force them to give me at least 2 cards here. Arsenal to Pummel, I think, is the correct play. Just play the Spinal Crush here, and then Arsenal to Pummel. Spinal Crush here is really good. I would have really liked to have traded out that Disable for a blue. If they would have thrown even if they would have thrown like a 0 for 7 or, you know, something there, I would have just given the crown and put the Disable in the bottom in hopes to find a blue so that we could pummel the Spinal Crush and try to shut down the Channel Mount Heroic turn as much as possible here. But things don't always pan out that way, so you take the lines that you're given. Debating what other card they want to block with. They can't give me 1 card and 2 pieces of equipment. They gave it all to me last turn, and that's the real big value of being able to dominate something early, like big, like a Crippling Crush, so that you can just take all the cards out of your opponent's hand. Okay, so my opponent's going to go to 14, and then they are going to play their 3-card hand. Well, I guess 2 cards in an arsenal. So our second pitch stack hand is going to be Terra Sunder or Disable with 3 blues. So kind of however we feel about it. Force of Nature, reveal Earthlore Surge. Pitch Earthlore Surge, and then so Scar for Scar is going to be for a lot, for 8. I don't think this counts as I'm drawing a card. I was like, no, that's only on the one Briar card. So if I was to give Visage and Chokeslam here, I could give Visage and Chokeslam and Buckler, or I'm sorry, Crown of Providence, put this on the bottom, and then, or I guess I could just give, they're not going to keep their CMH, so I could just give Chokeslam, Visage, and Pummel here, and then leave my Pummel. And just, the Rosetta Thorn will just hit for some here, which is fine. Like, yeah, I think this is a perfectly fine play. I think we're blocking with cards from hand this turn. Like, it's that or block with all of my equipment. And like, while that's fine, I'm gonna like try and save my equipment for some things that matter. I don't even really know if I like the Buckler on the Rosetta Thorn here, but I have to be careful only having AB1 with what I'm actually... I have to be careful with how low I'm willing to go here without Crown of Seeds or anything like that. Wonder if Fatigue Briar can be a thing in Blitz. Zach asked me that the other night. We were talking about that. I'm curious to know. Has anybody in the chat tried Fatigue Briar and Blitz? Is it a thing? Is it doable? Does anybody know? So, I mean, this is like a perfectly fine hand. Like, looking at this hand just feels like block with Showtime and then throw the Thunderquake. Or we could just be in a situation where we're going to block for 9 and then... Okay. We could also just block for 9 with this hand. We could block for 9 and just throw the hammer again, which, like, is fine until they find another CMH, and then we're going to need a big hand. But we have yet to see like a CNC or like really anything like big and powerful. We had the Crippling Crush and the Spinal Crush. Now we're looking for like a Starstruck or something. I remember what this card does. So this has go again, and the next thing you play has +1. So they're gonna Thorn after this in Arsenal. So if I pitch the Rabble here. Or if I pitch the Rouse, I mean. And they hit a blue. You love to see it. You love to see the blue. I don't know what they're trying to undo. Okay. I guess they're just going to concede. I don't know. I don't really know why they conceded right there. The game definitely felt like it was going in a positive direction for us, but if there's anything I know about the Bravo Briar matchup, it's that it can be turned on its head in about 2 seconds. So, playing on Talishar, we played against Briar. We went first, yeah, because they had a setup turn on their second turn, which was really good for us. Dominated, crippling on turn 2, followed by Spinal to make their channel turn weak. Opponent conceded on turn 4. It's kind of weird that they conceded so early. Like, kind of like really felt like an early concession there for my opponent, but I mean, sometimes people just concede at random times. I don't know. Like, it's always weird to me because like opponents definitely don't concede that early in like tournament play. So like you kind of have to like take those wins with a grain of salt. That's why I make notes on every game that I play. So that later when I'm reviewing them, I can be like, okay, like I played 20 games and I went 15-5, but 2 of those wins or 3 of those wins or whatever don't really count because my opponent conceded or because my opponent had to leave or because my opponent was playing Iron Rot Helmet instead of Crown of Providence or, you know, anything like that. So I always really try to go out of my way to make notes so that I can go back and remember what happened when. It's a good, I personally feel like it's a really good way to like not let your ego get inflated because you're winning games on Talishar. And like, while I feel like the overall Talishar player level has upgraded over the last 6 months, I feel like people are also playing on Talishar, and like sometimes you'll play against good players and they're playing a game to goof off. They're playing a game because they got 30 minutes on their lunch break. They're playing a game because, you know, I don't know, they got 20 minutes before they got to go to dinner, like any reason like that. So they're not really truly focused. They're not sitting down and like hardcore testing because most people hardcore test within their groups regularly. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of things to consider when you're like actively testing on Talishar and you're trying to think, why am I winning? Why am I losing? Like, I think there's a lot of things to consider. And I mentioned this a little bit last night, but there are a lot of games that I will play and I'll lose and I'll look at that game and I'll be like, man, like, don't feel like I should have lost that game, but I don't know where I could have played better. So I was telling chat last night that like I record every single game I play when I'm streaming because when I'm streaming, I want to like if I make a note in my note section and I put like I always put in my notes that like I don't know why I lost that game. Like, it feels like I should have won, but I don't know where I could have played better. And that's a note for myself to go back and watch that game and be like, here's where you could have played better. Like, here were 2 turns that like a micro decision may not have won me the game, but it definitely would have put me in better standing. So I don't know. If you guys play a lot of Flesh and Blood and you guys test a lot, then you guys probably already know these things. But these are things that like I've really tried to incorporate into my life, and I've tried to like, you know, help like, you know, like in my teams help me realize all of this stuff. So like we've really like pushed each other, I feel like, to be better, and we're working together constantly to try and make our game the best that we can. You never hardcore test with me, Sag? I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry, man. You live like 3 hours away, dude. You live like 3 hours away, man. Oh. Taking a minute to find a game here. Was happening to me last night too. I feel like it's just like I don't. Okay. Let's play against Azalea, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's as bad as it is in this matchup. I don't know if this is as bad as it is in CC. Let's go first. I don't want to give Azalea a setup turn. And we're going to be looking at Titan's Fist and Stillbraid Buckler. It's okay. I know you're scared. I'm a beast. It's 100% what it is, man. I am frightened you'll make me look bad on stream, and then everybody will know I'm just a big fat phony. Oh, man. So I think that we want to cut the pummels here, and I know that sounds kind of crazy. I think we want to cut pummels here and bring in Come to Fights, because Come to Fight is a 3-block here, but Come to Fight is also like, this allows us to play a 3-card 9-power Command and Conquer, which I really like. Let's try this and see what happens. We don't need Arcane Barrier here, so wow, are we really just about to dominate a Starstruck on turn 0? Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. LMAO. I mean, Drew, if you wanted to play games or something every now and again, man, when I was streaming, I'd be down for that. Trent and I played a couple of games last night. He played his dash list into my Bravo list. I was like, dude, I like, you know, like part of like, you know, like, you know, being a sub or like being a member, you know, I feel like that, like you want to play games every now and again. Like I'm definitely down to do that. And plus, like, I feel like every single person that hangs out in my chat is like a really good player. So like, I don't ever feel like I'm getting like non-games against people, you know, like I'm always happy to like, you know, play games into people. So if you ever want to play, man, let me know. We'll play a game or two. All right, step 1 of high rolling my opponent. Dominate something broken on turn 0. Now this turn, I mean, this turn's like still good. Like our opponent is just gonna pass here, like, which is fine. But so we have a couple of options. I can make a surge and dominate a Cranial Crush so that they can't draw off of their Death Dealer unless they give me Perch and a card from hand. Or I can throw Rouse. So if I pitch, I think I'm just gonna play the Rouse here. I think that's the better play. I get to reveal these cards, and then I can swing the hammer for 4. So it's an 11-point turn, and I can arsenal one of my cards here to set up. And I'm going to put Thunderquake first, because we pitched 3 blues, and one of them was a Terra Sunder last turn. At least I think it was a Terra Sunder. I can't remember, but I'm going to put Cranial Crush, because I'm going to arsenal the Thunderquake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch the Cranial Crush here to swing the hammer. And then I'm going to arsenal the Thunderquake so that I can make my crown be better if I need it to. Ooh, Toxicity. I like that. I like that testing. That's something I want to... Oh, you're going to give me something to counter? Crater Fist is your best option here? Or Crown, maybe? I was like, Crown. You could talk me into Crown. Wouldn't have to argue with me too much to like convince me that Crown is good. But... So this way, I'm putting an 8-power attack into my first pitch stacked hand if we go around as playing second cycle this game. Don't know that we will, but just in case we do. Okay. Okay. Is halved? Ew. Poggies, that'd be down sometime? Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're ever hanging out in a place that you want to like play some games or something, man, let me know. I was like, we'll play. And it doesn't have to be Blitz. Like, I'm probably going back to playing CC next week, so if you want to play CC or something, let me know. Okay, so loads fatigue shot, plays premeditate. And then my next attack is halved. So we have a couple of options here. I can block Showtime. This feels like a shame to not just block this out. Let's go ahead and just block 8. I think this is the correct play since I didn't dominate this. We can just block 8 here. And then what I can do is I can pitch Respite to make a surge, and then I can just swing the hammer for 4. I mean, we're at 20 and our opponent's at 7, so like we're in a pretty decent spot, and we still have most of our fridge available to us. And I'd like to arsenal the Respite if I can, but I think that the surge is more relevant here because we're trying to play offense at this point. So it is worth noting that they still have Perch Grapplers, so we have to be a little bit careful on if we decide to take a lot of damage or not. So we're probably just going to crown this away in hopes of finding a blue to dominate Crippling Crush, because dominate Crippling Crush like maybe doesn't end the game, but it gets pretty dang close if it gets pretty dang close to letting us end the game here. Okay. I mean, again, this is like the third turn, I think, third or fourth turn, so Tunic would be really good right here. So I can just I don't know, like I really don't care to just take 4, I think, honestly. And if I draw like I don't know, like something not great off of my crown here, I can just play the Respite. But I think I don't really care to just go to 16. But now I can just arsenal my Respite, and I'm just in like a great spot from there. Like this is so good. Well, we're gonna activate the Surge, activate Bravo, or make a Surge, activate Bravo, and then we're gonna throw a Dominate Crippling Crush here and watch our opponent cry themselves to sleep a little bit. Now they could have a D-React here. Like if they have a card from hand and they did arsenal a D-React last turn, then I mean that's pretty good for them. That would actually allow them to block 8 or 9 and only take like 2 or 3, which would be solid. But if not, they're gonna go to 1 and be left with 1 card in hand and 1 card in arsenal. And I basically just have all of my fridge. It's going to be... Oh, it's going to be a 1-coster because they have the Tunic, red in the ledger for 8. So, I mean... Three, 6, 8. Like, just block. I don't see a reason not to block here. Might as well just block it out, deny them the arsenal. Really wish we had the come to fight here. I'd really like to see the come to fight be like super useful. And then we'll just come in for 6. I know that they don't have an arsenal, so there's no relevant on hit effect here, but on hit they're dead. So that's kind of the game we're playing right now. I don't think maybe I'm supposed to block with Command and Conquer and throw the Debilitate. Well, no, I guess it doesn't matter. They're both 6s. Is my opponent just... Okay, they're just done playing. Yeah. I mean, we played a 5-turn game. Like, this matchup is probably just as bad for them in Blitz as it is in CC. I don't know. I'm not an Azalea main. I am pretty excited for that new Azalea card, though. That card is going to be stupid. That card is going to be stupid good. Talishar, we played against Azalea. We went first. We got the win. Dominated, crippling, dominated Starstruck on turn 0. And then they never dominated an Arrow. The fact that they never dominated an arrow also makes a big difference for us. That like gives us a lot of value in the fact that they didn't dominate anything. Is that 3 games we played so far? Let's see. We lost to Prism, beat Briar, beat Azalea. Yep. Okay. So, all right. Don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. All right. 2-1 with Bravo. I mean, like, again, I think like Prism's just an abysmal matchup. Like, I think we'll just have a hard time with Prism, like, honestly. Against Dorinthia, I think we just want to go first here. We're just gonna good luck, have fun. I think we want to Nothos here. I don't think Stillbred Buckler is the way. And then honestly, we're probably just like, I don't know, like defense reactions are very good, but at the same time, like we want to be playing offense. Maybe I want to cut Respite for Come to Fight. I wonder if Come to Fight's just a better main deck card in this deck, and we should just sideboard Respite for other matchups. Might try that. I don't know. I might try that. Let's just throw the disable here, I guess. Like, might as well. Come to Fight. Lol, Diablo, you're hilarious. Oh, that's great. Ooh, they're giving me bolters on turn 0. Spicy, spicy, spicy. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a little Command and Conquer pummel action? A little Command and Conquer pummel action we got going on over there? I mean, I guess let's force them to have it. Like, even if they do play it, doesn't matter. Let's just, I don't know. Like, I guess we're just going to force them to have it here. I don't know if this is the correct block or not, but this feels pretty good to me. Uh-oh. I still have 2 cards in hand. Command and Conquer Pommel is just so stupid. My opponent blocks 10 here, which they could very reasonably do. Give us 2 cards and then give us Bracers and Blade Hold is actually like a pretty like not bad option there for them. But it's so good. It's so good. Num 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 num. You love to see it. I'm gonna make you teach me the basics one day so I can watch you, LOL. Dude, I'd be happy to show you how to play anytime. Taught Kyle how to play, man. Taught Kyle how to play. Kyle's a pretty smart guy, so it's not exactly a hard thing to do, but just gonna pass. Curious to see if they break bolters here. I assume they want to say bolters for a bigger turn, and they're just going to take the 3 points and pass here. So I'm actually just going to dominate my disable here, which is another like Arsenal disruption effect, which I really like. A little bit worse than what we just did, but still pretty good. And I'm going to Arsenal the unmovable and try to play around some shenanigans they might have. Diablo, you still at work, buddy? I was just thinking, I was like, oh yeah, you're like 20 hours behind us on, you know, West Coast, Best Coast over there. So I was like, you're probably still at work. Yeah, big Sag. I'm sorry, man. Hope the rest of your day goes by fast. We never didn't have it. Ah! This is so good. Ah! Dude, I know they just played Glistening Steelblade, but like, it's CNC Pummel. Like, like, am I just supposed to give them 3 counters and take a bunch of damage here? I love me in that party hat, that shark hat or party hat or whatever from the pool that day is so funny, Carly. Honestly, I just, you know what? We ball. We ball. That's where I'm at right now. 4-14. I'm just gonna take whatever they do, and I know that like I'm supposed to be playing the fatigue style strategy, but like I mean, I could block here, block 4 with my equipment if I wanted to here, but if they have a twinning blade, yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna say it. CNC means something different for you and me. What in God's green earth does CNC mean for you, Diablo? Now I'm like, what are you up to over there, big guy? What are you up to over there, big guy? Do 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 do. I know exactly what he's saying right now. My opponent's sitting over there going, no way he's got it again. No way he's got it again. Because that's exactly what I would be saying right now. Okay? Blocking 7? Makes no sense for you to give me the bracers here. Oh, so you are going to block 10 and just play around it? Okay. Deal. Deal. I'll pummel something else. Or I won't. Ew. So the good news is that, like, I mean, I guess I could have a 0 for 3 here, but I can just pretty safely block 6. I mean, if they do go for it, I'll just play the unmovable here, like, which is fine. And then I'll just arsenal my pummel and we'll wait. I have the pummel for the CNC. I am a genius. Exactly, Drew. Exactly. I'm glad you understand my logic here. I don't have to be better than you. I just have to get luckier than you do. Oh man. What are you oh-godding over there, Diablo? I mean, more than likely that they have an out for blood here or something. Like, I guess we've only seen one route. They could have another route here. I'll tell you later. Okay, well, I can't wait to hear about it. We'll put the Crippling Crush on the bottom. Okay, so out for blood puts me to 7. Okay. And then they definitely should have came in for 4 right there. That was a mistake. I'm just going to take 3 and go to 4. And then I'm going to pummel the Crippling Crush here. Like 1,000% here. 1,000%. There might be some argument to just dominating the Crippling Crush. But I think it's better to give my opponent the option on what they want to do here. Like, if they decide to block with 3 cards, we'll probably just pass. Like, let them go to 11 and then just pass here. Like, I'd probably I'd say that's a perfectly fine option. But my opponent's not blocking a ton, then like we'll wait it out. Or if they are blocking a ton, I mean, I could also just play the pummel here. Like, I don't think it's correct though. Unmovable, tear asunder. So, I mean, this is for 4. I can block 6 and just swing the hammer here. Do a little bit of a reset. And then there's still 2 respite in our deck. There's 2 copies of respite in our deck to like help us play defense if we need to. Alternatively, I could have blocked with Come to Fight and then threw Chokeslam Pummel for 10. But like they don't really play attack actions or do anything, so It's also interesting to me that they use Courage to block with here instead of just like... that they blocked with Courage both times, but maybe they just feel like they need that. Okay, so they have to get this to 6 first. I mean, again, like, deal. And now we're just in a spot where we can just block 3 and just attack with the disable for 9. Like, and like, again, represent the pummel. How, like, would this not be like the greatest bluff of all time if I didn't have the pummel? But I'm not that up there. I'm not that up there to live rent free in people's heads like that. We are also fatiguing our opponent, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. There's a route left. I don't know why my opponent said good game. I don't really understand, honestly. Again, now this is great. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go to 1, and I am going to throw the pummel. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, again, supposed to just, like, block. If I block 3... Maybe I wasn't supposed to block there. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't supposed to block there. Like, they can just keep their hand here. I am just going to play the pummel here and put our opponent to 7. And then I'm actually just going to Arsenal the Starstruck. I mean, just block 6 here and we're good, right? Like, we just block 6 here, throw the Starstruck. Yeah, like this is pretty solid. Pretty good turn cycle for us all the way around. We're also like well on our way to fatiguing our opponent, which is pretty cool. Like we're fatiguing them like through attacking them, which is like actually like really fun. The cool thing is that like if they let this hit for 4, they can't use their Dawnblade. They have to give us 3 cards here. Now they do have an arsenal, so we can't just like be crazy. I have to be a little cautious here. Now let's see how many Iron Song responses they have played. Okay. There's 2 red Iron Song responses gone. And I just watched them pitch a yellow, which means there's a blue and a yellow out there. Probably 2 blues and 2 yellows if I had to guess. So we have to be a little careful here. I mean, I could block 2 and just try to end the game. Like, the only way this kills us is if they have that 0 for 3 that I learned about last night. Like, if they just have the random 0 for 3 here, I'm dead. I mean, let's try it. Let's go for it. Living on the edge here. Without resources, most of the time they can't do anything like this and like really punish us. And if they don't have a defense reaction here, they are dead. But we haven't really seen one so far, so... Yep, and this is them dying. Let's go. Okay. 11 turns, but we got there. I played very loose and did not play with a consistent game plan at all that game. And we still managed to get there. I think that kind of speaks to the like Bravo being favored into the Warrior matchup. Also, they didn't have any defense reactions, which is like really weird. Maybe Dory just doesn't play D-reacts in Blitz. I don't know. Dorinthia, we went first. We got the win. Dominated some bit attacks. Sat on Pummel for 3 to 4 turns to try and close the game out. Dominated Starstruck for the win. Played very loose. Want to make sure that I put that in my notes so that I have that when I'm going back and looking at that later to remind myself that I did not play as well as I could have by any means there. Okay. 3-1. Moving right along. Minus that Prism game, Bravo's feeling pretty good, but I mean, that might just be the story of Bravo. All right, another Briar matchup. I'm going first. Interesting that they picked for me to go first. We ran AB1 in the boots here, and then we also ran Buckler and Titan's Fist in this matchup. And I can't remember. I don't know. Like Respite has really good value in against I'm having a stroke against Rosetta Thorn here, so I kind of want to leave it in. I don't know. Let's just try our 40 this way. I don't know. I don't know. So... Oh, I have to pick 3. Yeah, okay. I always like that card always feels so weird to me. And then from here, I can go get basically anything. I think I'm just going to go get a blue and make a surge. Or maybe I'm just supposed to get the Command and Conquer here. No, I have to get a Guardian attack, so I can't do that. So let's just get a blue we don't care about. Chokeslam's actually pretty good in this matchup. Debilitate's not bad. Buckling Blow's probably our worst blue. And then we'll just make a surge. And then we'll go disable Thunderquake Buckling Blow. We'll Arsenal. And we found the Command and Conquer. I'm so good at this game. I'm so good at this game. I'm completely being sarcastic, by the way. I'm getting very lucky with my draws here. Like, so... Hey, please don't sit here and think that I really think I'm good at this game because I'm drawing Command and Conquer and Pummel in the same turns, in the same hands. Like, two hands back-to-back last game. Like, actually wild. Plus, this Showtime's going to make this a lot better. Like, Showtime's just going to, like, basically just, like, make our hands so much better right here. I think you're a beast. What you mean? Thanks, Drew. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, brother. I mean, don't get me wrong. Getting lucky is a big aspect of winning at card games. Like, anybody who tells you otherwise is just a liar. Like, they're just wrong, respectfully. Better lucky than good, as they say. Dude, Lord, I feel like I live my life that way, brother. I feel like I live my life that way. So this does not have go again. So if I pitch the Rouse here to AB1 and then Respite this, I mean, they could just be like trying to get us, and this could just be a snaps. And then even if I draw red off the top, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm just supposed to take this and then block 4 with like Rouse and Buckler. And then that way I can try to Arsenal my Respite here. I don't know. I was like, they might also just be throwing the Scar and then passing here denying them a embodiment of Earth is very good for us right there. Let's go ahead, play the Choke Slam, play the CNC, and stare into their soul. Here's where I would actually just stare at you from across the table, because I want to give you nothing. This moment right here when I throw a Command and Conquer is like playing poker, in my opinion. I was playing Dory against you, closed the video, and I'm watching it now, man. How luck can you be? Dude, Professor Moai, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I got very lucky, brother. I like, we were just talking about that, like how lucky I got, like, to like draw the way that I did. I don't disagree with you at all. I got extremely lucky to draw that way, brother. It was some very good draws for me. I enjoyed the game though, man. I enjoyed the game. I appreciate the game. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm just, oh my God, we're going crazy tonight. This is as close as I'm ever going to get to going Super Saiyan right now. So I just need you all to know how, like, back-to-back Command and Conquer pummel turns in back-to-back games! Oh my gosh! Oh! I was like, and now my opponent has to be sitting over there going, there's no way. There's no way they have it again. There's no way they have it again. Or do I? Oh my gosh. He did it again. What a beast, Drew. Thank you, man. Just actively just gonna take it on the chin here, huh? I mean, I think I'm still just gonna play the pummel. We're just gonna push through 8 points of damage here. Clip that. Dude, Carly, please clip that. Please clip that for the stream. Oh, we got a CMH! Oh my gosh! This is nuts! Oh, my opponent's screaming. God knows I would be. Oh, they have a Command and Conquer? Boo. Am I supposed to... I mean, they have a lot of equipment left, so, like, this is, like, Crippling Crusher Starstruck isn't gonna, like, end it here. Now do it at the skirmish? Lord, I'm gonna do my best to do it on Friday night, brother. I'm gonna do my best. Man is proving my 40-card decks are better? Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. It's also for 9. Ew. I mean, pitch Crippling Crush. Guess if I was gonna play the Respite, I should have pitched a Starstruck here. So, thank you for clipping that, Carly. Thank you for clipping that. I mean, block 9, put this on the bottom, draw blue, and go crazy. I don't know. Like, that seems fine. Man, wow. We just never didn't have it, boys. Just never didn't have it tonight. I am buying a lottery ticket when I'm done streaming tonight. I am driving. I'd never have cash on me. I'm going to the ATM. I am going to the ATM, which is like 2 minutes from here, and then I'm going to go to the gas station and buy a freaking lottery ticket. Like, this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Just call me Andre. Oh, for anybody who doesn't know, Carly and I watch Ninja a lot. He's a pretty famous streamer if you don't like watch Fortnite or anything, but we watch Ninja quite regularly, and the guy that helps him out in his stream is called Andre, and so like it's a running joke between Carly and I that she's my Andre. I guess we'll just block 4 here. Like, I know that like blocking here doesn't allow us to dominate the Starstruck, but I think that I just want to keep them off of the embodiment if I can help it here. I think that's just where, like, 100% where I'm at. So they've played 2 attacks this turn. No non-attack actions, so Thorn would just be for 2. So if I gave Disable on both pieces of equipment, I could throw the hammer for 4, Arsenal my Starstruck, and then try to set up a big turn. Alternatively, I could just give 6 here and throw the hammer, which is like a perfectly fine play. I'll look at Carly clipping that on YouTube. Carly's the best. Carly's the best. A round of applause. W's in the chat for Carly. I don't think I've ever actually said that. Never said W's in the chat and meant it, but W's in the chat for Carly. I don't know. Like setting up the Starstruck like ends the game. Right? Because they're at 5. Like, I mean, so let's just give up the rest of the equipment here. Carly put W's and then put yay me. Oh, that's legendary. Oh, it's amazing. So they're done with Skullcap and they have Grasp and Carapace, the Dyadic Carapace for 1 block left here. Maybe I'm supposed to like make a surge here. I don't know. Like I really like throwing this here. Like if we throw this and then we have any hand that allows us to actually like throw the Starstruck, even if we can't dominate it here, it takes so many cards out of our opponent's hand. I mean, the Skullcap doesn't block there, but okay. Like the Skullcap has 2 counters. I don't really understand why they did that. They might have meant to block with something else. If they wanted to undo, I would have totally been okay with that. Honestly, I'm just going to take 2. Like, I just want to keep my hand and try to end the game here if I can, so I'm just going to keep this. Like, I know that, like, this is the first time we've given up an embodiment of Earth here, but, like, I think we're okay to take some damage, considering we started the turn at 17. I mean, my opponent's at 4, so, like, they can block 6 or at 4, 5, 6. Like, if they don't have a reaction here, they're just dead. Like, even with the embodiment of Earth. Okay. Oh, do they have another thing below in their arsenal? That would actually be insane because we just gave up 5 points and tried to end the game and did not get to end the game. So, would actually be crazy for them. Okay, so since they didn't have it there was no way for them to, like, get out of that. Hey, Carly, aggro blazing it. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. That noise scares the crap out of me every time it pops up because it's just me screaming in my ear. Okay. 4 and 1. Bravo, Talishar. We played against Briar. We went first. They picked that time, which is interesting. Back to back CNC pummels on turns 2 and 3 to get super ahead because it's just exactly what happened. Ended the game with dominated star struck. Okay, well, that was, I mean, like, these games tonight, the way they're going is, like, just straight up better lucky than good. Like, I just, like, it's just insane. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, we just had Command & Conquer Pummel, like, almost every single time. So, the games are going super fast here. So, I'm going to play one more Bravo game. And then we're going to swap over and play Dash Database. Oh, the mirror. This will be fun. Good luck, have fun, opponent. I'm curious to see how their deck is set up, actually. I think we want a Nothos in the mirror. We'll want all of our blocking equipment here. Probably want Pulverize in the mirror for a hand if they just, like, throw... Well, I don't know. Like, Pulverize is good, but, like... Pulverize is actually really good. I think we want the Respites here as, like, a way to try and gain life or, like, catch up if we, like, fall behind a little bit here. Maybe I just want to run my main deck. Let's just, I don't know, let's just try the 40 cards and see how it goes into the mirror, because I genuinely don't know how it's going to go. Okay, so they loaded up the same exact thing we did. Activate Bravo. We're just going to go ahead and play the respite here. Like, I like their decision of dominating something on turn 0. I think that's actually like a really smart play here. Oh, man. This is awkward. So let's make a surge, and then let's throw the hammer for 6 here, and then we're just going to arsenal the respite. Okay, so they are on Sink Below, so they're on a more defensive build than we are, which is like really interesting to me. I'm curious to see how that plays out for them. That's really good. Again, we drew the CNC Pummel, but they just have a really good hand here. Like, 7 is a lot. I don't know, like, the CNC Pummel isn't going to have that much value, in my opinion, just because, like, they have Crown. So maybe I'm just supposed to block. I want to pitch my blue regardless, so, like, maybe I want to arsenal the Pummel, considering I just put 1 on the bottom. So if I block 3, I can take 4, go to 15, and then I can pitch. Maybe I'm supposed to crown this away. I don't know. I want to put my blue on the bottom so that as long as I have, I guess they're too close together for it to really work. This is awkward. Yeah, let's just take 4 here and see what they do. I was like, if they just swing the hammer, then we can... end up just net taking 1 and going to 14 here, basically, is what we'll do. So, okay. It seems fine. Like, it doesn't feel great to me, but it seems okay. Swing this. I was like, depending on what their hand looks like, they'll probably block with a card, maybe 2 here. You know, the crazy part's I don't even care about this. I am literally debating just taking this and just throwing the Starstruck Pummel here. It's a lot of life to give up early, but we're getting a lot of tempo out of this, so I'm going to go for it. It's a pretty aggressive play, and honestly probably just not correct, but... if you guys haven't noticed by now, I like the more aggressive plays when I'm playing Bravo. I like to play Bravo. Bravo is more of like an aggro mid-rangey deck than I do like my actual... giving me a Quicken token. I like that. And then, yeah, we'll just play the Pummel. So they have to play something with cost 7, which is like not that hard to fathom from our opponent here, but still not just free. So block 3, 6, 8, go to 2. Let's just go ahead and block like that, and we'll just arsenal the unmovable here. Hey, look at Carly plugging my goals. I appreciate it, baby. For anybody who doesn't know, I set goals for myself as far as like streaming and everything is concerned. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube by the end of the year and 300 followers on Twitch by the end of the year. And I'm also trying to get to 100 followers on Kick by the end of the year, which is a pretty lofty goal, and I don't really know that it's doable, but I think that's what I'm aiming for. There's a typo in your message. YouTube is good. Just need to fix Twitch. My goal is to reach by the end of the year. If you like my content, follow and help my reach my goal. Help me. Okay, so I need to fix that. Okay, I'll look at that after this. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's see here. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. Let's try to get out of this jam. We're down 7 points. They can't play a Pummel here. If I block Crater Fist, Civic Steps, give them a Quicken token. Block Civic Steps. I don't know. Maybe if I block Crater Fist Tech Plating, that's 3, and then this is 6. So I'd take 1, go to 3. So I'd pitch my Thunderquake to do that, and then what I'd do is I'd play my Imposing Visage to go get a. I don't know. We're probably looking at getting like a probably something reasonable. I don't know. Probably just like a. I don't know. What am I looking at getting here if I do that, if I make that play? So if I make that play, God, what is... So maybe we're going to go get a Spinal Crush. Like, we've only seen one, and Spinal Crush is, like, pretty good and gives us an extra card to be able to block with here. And then at that point, we have 2, 4, 5 as to where they have 3. So I could block Boulder Drop and then pitch Thunderquake to play the Unmovable. I don't want to waste my Quicken token, though. Like, I want to get value out of my Quicken token. So... Is there a Showtime left in the deck? Okay, there is a Showtime left in the deck. That I actually had to make sure there was one left. I could alternatively just come in for 6, waste the Quicken token, and then just like Arsenal the Unmovable and set up an Unmovable here, because they could just dominate something if we set that up this way. So maybe that's just a better play. I hate to waste the Quicken token, but I think that this is the correct decision, because having the Unmovable in Arsenal just like basically gives us a get out of jail free card from whenever we need it. So let's actually just go ahead. Whoa, what just happened there? That was weird. My opponent just going to go to 5. Okay, so... Okay, so they have CNC Pummel here. A Respite would be really good here. So if I block Disable and... Have they played? No, we haven't seen their other Command and Conquer yet. So block, Disable, Chokeslam, Crippling Crush, and Crater Fist is the correct play. Throw Hammer for 4. Just always going to play around it here. That's fine. So I guess if they had a blue, they could have had both pummels there, right? Yeah, so I guess that was what I wasn't playing around, which was pretty loose, like a pretty loose play. And I'm glad that I noticed that, because that's something I'm going to make a note of in my games for later. I should have blocked with I don't know that I should have blocked more, but was a decision that had to be made there. Hey Kyle, thanks for lurking, man. I appreciate it. Hope work was okay, buddy. Okay. Interesting. So this is for 12, basically. So Showtime from hand, and Unmovable is 9. Or I can just block 7. Put Spinal on the bottom. This way I'm only taking 1. I actually don't want to bottom anything here. I really like my hand. And then this way I actually get to play around everything, which is pretty awesome. We take nothing here, so we don't have to discard anything. And then I really like this because my opponent is forced to give me at minimum 1 card and Civic Steps if they want to go to 1. They're just going to give me 2 cards, and now we're going to play the the grindy back and forth nonsense. I mean, technically this has go again, but it doesn't matter. So there's another pummel in our list, but I don't think that sitting on the Command and Conquer is going to be the way to do it. Like, am I supposed to block Boulder Drop Cranial Crush, throw Hammer for 4? No, because then they can... No, they have to give us a card. They have to give us a card here either way. They have to give us a card. Maybe I'm just supposed to block CNC? Or sit on, like, Arsenal to CNC? But the problem is that if they have the Surge, they can dominate a 9, and then we're only blocking 4 and taking 5, so I need to throw 6 here. I think we're just going to block with the CNC here. I think that's just the better option for me. If CNC made Hammer for 6, I would just do that, but now we're just stuck in this like loop until somebody finds a D-React, which my opponent has not seen a lot of. They probably have at least one more Sink Below. We've seen both of our unmovables and both of our respites, so we're now out of defense reactions, which is really, really tough to like crawl out of a hole once you're in this spot with Bravo. At least I feel like it is. Maybe other people have other thoughts. My experience is that this is like a tough hole to crawl out of once you're in this spot. Okay, so this is a D-React. Okay, so he's just going to go to 1 here. Which means I imagine he has dominate something here. Yep, dominate a 9. 7 kills me too, doesn't it? Dang. Because I block 4, take 3. Yeah, well played, opponent. Well played. That was a good game. That was a really good game. So I took way too much damage on my one big turn. I took a lot of damage to play my big turn, and like I went all the way down to like 5 or 6 or something like that, and it really cost me right there at the end. Definitely seeing like those big turns either give you all the tempo, or they're just not worth it. And like I can't remember what exactly happened, but I don't think it was worth it. So Bravo, Talishar, we played against Bravo. We went first, right? Did I go first or did I go second that game? What happened on the first? No, they dominated on the first turn, so I went second. We lost. Took a bunch of damage down to 5 early to play my big turn and fell too far behind. All right, good note on the game there, on what happened and probably how I can fix it moving forward. So let's see. Let's go ahead and update Nightbot while I'm sitting here real quick. Goal. Come on. Help me reach my goal. All right. Carly, thanks again for pointing that out. Mini Borks. It is much appreciate. Okay. I'm going to take like I don't know, like let's say 5 minutes here. I need to fill up my water. I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'm going to take about a 5-minute break here. And when I come back, we're going to be playing Dash Database. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Okay. Short bathroom break, and we're back. Now we're gonna be playing Dash Database. I am excited to play this deck. Honestly, I'm a little bit more excited to play this deck than I was to play Bravo. I really had a good time playing this deck last night. Trent put together a pretty fun list, and I really enjoyed playing it. So I'm pumped to get some more games in with the deck and kind of like see how it feels across the board. Ooh, we're playing against Dash. I assume we just want Symbiosis shot in this matchup. Ooh, is that a penetration script? Oh, I see Trent's been at work. I see Trent's been at work with his list here on what we're working with here. I'm excited to play it. I don't really know. Oh, he added the chamber too instead of the node. Interesting. Oh, love your content. That's super nice of them. That's super nice of my opponent. I like hearing people say stuff like that. Like makes my day so much better. Like that's super nice of people. Ooh, blue outpace. Okay, so Trent has changed the deck a lot, and there's a BIOS update now. Oh man, Trent has been at work today. Oh yeah, I love it. This is super interesting. All right, so blues are payloads, outpaces, Teklo cores, 0 to 60s. And T-Bone. So we're on 10 blues now. Okay, yeah. Trent's been at work. I love it. I'm so excited. Arms. Yep, we want to equip the adaptive plating to our arms here. And our opponent opens up like that. Really wish we had the boom grenade on top, but you know, beggars can't be choosers and all that. They're just going to pass. So if I pitch the high octane to play underloop, this is tough. This is actually really tough. And then I guess I can arsenal the payload. Try to set up like some dominate shenanigans here where we can try and push through. Because the high octane isn't going to have a lot of value without the counters on the... without the counters being on there. And then we want to see a blue. So Underloop is cool because it's a card that like I think most people naturally want to block. And then let's play Boom Grenade. And no, we won't crank. And then we'll just go ahead and arsenal the payload here. I think this is the best play we have. This hand is not good. Like not really good at all. Maybe I just want to like... Man, I don't want to put another item in my hand, though. Like, am I supposed to... Phew. Shoo, doggy. I have no idea what we're supposed to do. All right, let's go puzzling here. Okay, so we need to keep Boom Grenade to play the payload. We can block with Outpace here if we need to. I could... So my turn could be play backup protocol red, crank, 0 to 60 boost, or play the Teklo core, 0 to 60 boosting, and then play the payload, arsenal the yellow boom grenade. But that requires me keeping my entire hand here. This is interesting. I feel like I'm definitely about to make some mistakes here. I mean, this is a lot of damage to take right here. Like, this is just a lot of damage to take on the chin here. Especially if this is, like, a max V. Like, if this is a max V, we probably just lose the game. Let's take 4. I don't know. Let's go to 10. Like, this hand is pretty good. Have you tried max in CC? Oh, Logan, I love max, dude. Max is where it's at, brother. Oh, my God, this is a max V. I love playing Max in CC, dude. I really played a lot of Max when Bright Lights first came out. Have you been exploring Max in CC, Logan? God, am I just taking one here and then just gonna cry myself to sleep when this is Max V? You stop that. You stop that. God, this is gonna be for 12. Okay, well. Yeah, I think we're going to lose this one, boys. Man. This is a tough scene. So this is tough. If I pitch the backup protocol red to play Teklo Core right now, I can play Boom Grenade and Crank, and then I can throw this will be 6, 10, 13. I mean, we put a lot of damage on the stack to threaten here if we did that. That's a lot to threaten right here. I kind of think that's our play, if I'm just being honest. Like, we want to use the resources from the Teklo Core and like try to make this happen. So with all my playing today, I think Max V may be a trap. I haven't been able to get a single one off today. I mean, I think Dash Database has a harder time playing Max V than regular Dash does, Trent. I agree with that sentiment like pretty strongly. Like I'm pretty inclined to agree with that that sentiment. I'm also thinking about if I would rather try Twin Drive over Heist to try and make Max V more possible. So Trent, I think if we're going to be like, if you're going to be playing, I think if you're going to be playing Max V, you have to be on Twin Drive. I think it's a necessary part of the deck. 100%, I think it is. And then we're just going to pass. Unfortunate, but like it is what it is. This is going to be for 8. So we give Spark, Zipper Hit, and Heart here. And then when they come in the Talishar, we give the plating on one of the Boom Grenades here. They're going to play the other Teklo Pounder, which I actually think is a really smart play from our opponent here. Yeah, I love playing him, just trying to work him out. Yeah, Logan, it's a tough deck to like figure out and like, you know, like work out a way to like play perfectly, in my opinion. Like there's a lot to Max. And I also, Logan, I don't know how far you are into your testing, but I think that Pistol is better than the Wrench. I think that Pistol's better than Banksy so far. Do you have a deck list? Also, do you run any hyperdrivers in the deck? I run red and yellow. So I think I'm going to Arsenal the Zipper Hit here. I started out originally playing all 9, and then I cut some and went to playing just the reds and yellows. I am playing hyperdrivers in the list. I'm also playing the I'm trying to think of what it's called. I'm also playing the mech suit, whatever. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But I'm playing the mech suit, so I think hyperdrivers are kind of a necessary evil as far as that's concerned. I mean, this hand just blocks, right? Like that's all we're doing here is just blocking. Put the other high octane on the bottom, so we're just going to put this on the bottom. If they leave us with 1 card, we'll just play the Teklo Core at our turn and pass. That way we can use the core next turn to be able to use the Adaptoplating to block for 3 if we need it to. Nitro Mechanoid, yes, thank you, Lord, and Death. Death to Monkeys. That is a super spicy name. I like that name. That is super interesting. I like it. But yes, Nitro Mechanoid is the card that I'm talking about. Yeah. So they're not going to leave us with a card. So we're just going to show both of our cards here. Our opponent's going to pick one, which doesn't really matter. We're going to go to 1. And then when they come in with a Talishar, we're going to block 4 and try to hang on to it there. I think pistol if you were trying to go aggro, but try to run Banksy against decks that don't want to block, but I'm also leaning more towards pistol. I mean, yeah, so like Logan, if you feel like you can find a way to run Banksy, then like that's awesome. I never found a great way to use Banksy consistently. Like Banksy felt incredibly awkward to me. I could never really make it work. Banksy felt like super just like, I don't know, like it just felt like very like not great to me. So I definitely struggled with Banksy when I was using it. Really wanted to find an item there so that we could pitch our Teklo core to play the item and then use adaptive plating to like get real value out of it. The best thing that we could have done right there would have been a backup protocol red on the top of the deck. That would have been absolutely insane. Insane. I made it up in like 8th grade in 2000 and it's never taken, LOL. Dude, I get that. I like it feels like kind of like looking back on like an old email, like if that makes any sense. Like when you start looking back on like an older email, you're just like, what was I doing? Like what was I doing? God. Teklo Pounder's so bad here. I want to keep Spark if I can. I think I'm just dead here. Like any other attack just kills me. Yeah, that's a big Sag. So the crazy part is like we wouldn't have been dead here. Like had this not been an item, but again, the problem with database is that we're just always running into items here. Like we just have so many items. And we'll block 1 and take 3 and die. Man, if they open Talishar into you, maybe like there's too many items to fatigue his database. I think there's just too many items to fatigue his database. I don't know. I really wish you didn't need to crank for Banksy, dude. 100%. If you didn't need to crank for Banksy, like it would be so crazy. But like also cranking for Banksy is like it being a conditional. Like if it was just a 1 for 3, like. That on hit did something, it would literally just be like a better like Reaping Blade or whatever. Like, I mean, I guess situationally, like Reaping Blade does have the life gain text on it, but I feel like it has to be conditional. Every single weapon from Bright Lights is a conditional weapon effect in some way. So now some are harder to use than others. Dash, Talishar. We played against Dash OG. We went second. Yeah, we lost. They had turned to Max V, and we never recovered. Yeah, them having the turn 2 Max V was just too much for us to keep up with. We fell behind so quickly, and it was just so tough to keep up at that point. Had this been like another dash mat, like had that been like a different dash, like had we been on a different dash that has more blocking utility than like items like we do, we might have been able to fatigue them because they only had like 14 cards left in their deck. Like we might have been able to, but I doubt it. I guess we want we always want to go first, is what Trent said, so we're gonna stick with it. I think it'd be better off if it said something like if you've made a hyperdriver this turn. So, I mean, even if it said if you've made a hyperdriver this turn, like, you'd still have to crank the hyperdriver, so, like, it'd kind of be the same, right? Like, I feel like that, like, doesn't really change the text. The big text box that I feel like would change it a lot, Drew, is if it said if you've boosted this turn, come in with a 1 for 3. I feel like that would be kind of cool. Good game, Sarah. I got a bit lucky. Oh, I mean, Jacob, dude, that was a good game, man. I was trying to, like, hold out as long as I could there at the end of the game, man. But yeah, the Max V turn on like turn 2, I think, was really good. And then your patience to set up the second pounder instead of attacking me with Talishar was also really smart decision making. Like you didn't let me use my adaptive plating to block the Talishar there with one of my boom grenades, and like that was a really good play. Like that was a good game, man. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. I mean, I guess against Dory, like we're just trying to go ham here. I guess. I don't know. Just leaving our 40 cards here and just try to go bananas. I mean, play Core and pass. And then we can try to set up the Telma Fiendel next turn. We'll Arsenal the Underloop, I think. This is so good. This is like a really good hand right here. This is a really good hand. You know, there's a reason I'm not a dev. That's fair, Drew. That's fair. I get that. What is this? It gets +1, so it's for 2. If it's your first weapon attack, it gets +1. If it's your second weapon attack, it gets +3. The first time Dawnblade Resplendent gains go again each turn, you may attack an additional time with it. So you can't even like on hit stop this. So this is just 3, and they can give it go again. That's it. Like they can just on hit, like they can just give this go again with cards from their hand. That's insane. It'd be a little worse because you can crank other items to use Banksy. You can't always make a hyperdriver. Yeah, that's also very true, Logan. That is very true. Other items do give you a lot of utility in that matchup. So I'm thinking block zipper hit. If I block with a zipper hit, I can go Underloop, High Speed Impact, Spark for another Core, Arsenal the Tome, and like try to go ham here. So the next one's gonna be for 6. I guess blocking is blocking, right? Like in this deck, like they don't get like a ridiculous amount of counters, like I'm used to them getting. But like they also play cards like that. Oh, so they didn't have go again there. Interesting. Not something I would have saw coming. This is the Kasai replacement Dory. Ooh, interesting. Dory QP is like Kasai at home. It's like Kasai. Oh Lord, that's great. Kasai at home. I'm sorry. Oh my God. My mom said that to me a lot when I was a kid. We got food at home. My mom said that to me all the time when I was a kid. That's so funny. Oh, that's great. They're probably also going to try to fatigue us here just because Valiant Dynamo is like a great card for that. So let's boost. Underloop is a card that like we want to hit. So I was like, they're pretty incentivized to block this pretty early. And then we'll go Spark. And like I could go get a Boom Grenade, but I think we're just going to go get the Core. And then the blue. Ugh. And a Spark of Genius. It could be good. Could be good. Depends on what we see here. Okay. It's not looking very good for ya boy. I don't really want another Throttle, so I guess I'm just going to say no blocks here, and we'll see what happens. All right, so not blocking actually plays around Glint, which is really good for us here. Their big combo is Glistening Steelblade. The counters don't fall off. Oh, they don't fall off like they do Dawnblade, like they do the other Dawnblade. Oh, I see. That is... Thank you for letting me know that. That's good news. I did not know that. So it attacks for less consistently, but it also has like a bigger upswing. I mean, like, I could just take 5, I guess, here. I don't know. We're going to hope to find an item on top after this so that we can crank it and make use of our tome here without actually having to change anything. All right. Not quite that lucky. Not quite that lucky. So 6 go again. This is pretty solid. Now we boosted over a couple of red cards, which is not great, but... Oh, God. They're on sinks, too. Yeah, they're definitely going to try and fatigue us here. I think this is... I think we're going to... Probably going to need High Octane to like try and get us out of this one. Did we just draw 2 blues? So last night we couldn't find blues to save our life, and now we're drawing them left and right? Ugh. I mean, I guess we're going to do this. We're going to Spark. There's not anything. We didn't put the penetration script in, so... We're just going to go get Backup Protocol red here. Yes, we're going to crank. Did we just draw another blue? What is happening right here? Okay, let's map out this turn a little bit with all of our resources. We have 1 floating, which means if we pitch a T-Bone, we'll be able to get a red Throttle back. crank the, or activate this to go get a throttle. We come in with throttle. I mean, we might as well just play into it. There's 10 blues in the deck, and we had 4 of them in our hand. That's kind of wild. 5-card hand, and we had 40% of our blues in it. I mean, they're probably just going to start blocking here if I had to guess. And then, I really don't want to, boost these 0 to 60s, but I think I need to. And I think we need to find a, I think we need to find some items on top here. Am I just going to go 6 dominate here? And then arsenal the payload? And basically just have, 4 dominate just kind of sitting around whenever we need it? But they also have 4 cards in hand, so maybe I'm just supposed to, push tempo here and, go 0 to 60 for 2 and then throw the payload? I don't know. This was not a very explosive hand, even though we had a lot of potential in it. We had a lot of potential here, and it just did not pan out the way I wanted it to. So little big Sag moment, but that's okay. Yeah, there's those resources we wanted. There's those resources we wanted. Or all the reds we wanted, I mean, good lord. Hey, Ahmad, what's going on, man? How are you, brother? You doing all right tonight? Do. You stop that. You stop that. You stop that right now. Just stop that right now. Ah! So it's just whenever it gets go again, right? So they can literally just give it go again. So if I put this on the bottom, we draw into a T-bone, which gives us the ability to go breakpoint, 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 and play the boom grenade first. I don't know. With the resources, the extra resources, I guess, we could also throw the T-bone if we wanted here. I could block with heart instead. No, because we need the blue to be able to play all of our stuff and to play this. Nah, let's just go ahead and put the payload on the bottom here. Think this is a better play. Yeah, run through. I'm so cool. Doing all right. I just like listening to gameplay with commentary while working. Glad that you're in my time zone. Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude, you're still at work, man? Did we talk about? I can't remember if we talked about where you live. Are you from the US? Because I was like, dude, it's 9 o'clock here. I'm on Eastern time and it's 9 o'clock, man. I was like, dude, so you must work second or third shift, man, if you're at work right now. That or you live in another country, which is also a very reasonable option. I mean, I kind of want to block with this, but it makes me use heart, and I don't think that's a great idea. Let's just keep it. We'll play it cool here. We'll see what happens. Plus, we have extra resources to play items if we see them. I'm from Southeast Asia. It's 10 a.m. right now. Oh, gotcha. So you're 13 hours ahead of me. So you're way ahead of me. Well, dude, I'm glad it works out for you to be able to watch and listen to cards while you're at work, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I try to watch streams as much as I can when I'm at work when I have downtime. So let's play Boom Grenade and Crank. Let's go High Speed Impact. Oh no, we need that High Octane. We want that High Octane. We need the High Octane. Ugh. Do we even have an item over here? We don't. Hey. We're cooking with gas now. We have a High Octane in our deck. Did we pitch one early? Is that what happened? So we just know that we need to sit on the next one. We need to sit at the next one. So we need the next High Octane to be able to win this game, I think. I think that's necessary. The crazy part is if our opponent says no blocks, we could just put them to 1 right here if they let this come over, which is like kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, let's go ahead and crank. We might as well. Still at work also. I work 5:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. Oh my gosh, Logan, that's so late, dude. That's wild. That is like such a late shift, brother. Dude, how do you stay up until 5:30 a.m.? Dude, midnight, I'm like... Carly like wants to stay up and do things, and I'm just like, dude, I am passed out. I am passed out, brother. Actually, is my opponent just dead? My opponent just dead? Little Deadski's asking here? Oh my gosh. You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah. Num 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 num. Yeah, let's go. Can't believe we won that game. That second boom grenade at the top was clutch. All those red breakpoints were so good. They're like, I feel like there are so many games that I feel like I'm going to lose playing Dash Database, and then we're just like off the top rope, just a people's elbow. Like, it's just crazy. Like, there's so many games I feel like we're going to lose. Let's see here. Dash. I'm gonna put Dory at home so I can remember that because that was so funny. Oh man. And we got the win. 3 breakpoints in one hand, 2 boom grenades hit for Omega value to win it. One of them, I can't type, off the top. All right. We lost our first one playing Bravo too, but then we won like, I don't know, a lot in a row, like 3 or 4 games in a row. It was quite a bit. It's a swing shift, 2 weeks a day, then 2 weeks off, 5:30 to 5:30. Oh, wow. That's not bad. Dude. I mean, the fact that you get like the time off and stuff is like really nice. Like working 12s is like definitely the way to go in my opinion. 2 hands with no go again and 2 hands with all red cards. GG's. Oh, dude, GG's, Death. I didn't realize that was you, man. I didn't. If your name's the same on Teleshare, I didn't catch it. But yeah, GG's, man. The boom grenade off the top was like actually cracked right there. Me being able to like the tome turn was like kind of mid, but still okay because it allowed me to gain like 4 or 5 life, and then the turn where like you didn't do a lot other than like just swing Dory or swing the Dawn Blade a couple of times. Was like where I was able to like really set up and like play for my next hand was really good. So I was afraid that you were gonna like try and set up to try and fatigue me there, but you definitely got tempo early, and I got pretty lucky. The second boom grenade off the top was insane. That like definitely won me that game. When we saw that, I immediately started being like, okay, like I need this to come through here. But yeah, GG's, man, it was a good game. Does the underloop ever occur, or is it just a 1-for-4 boost? So, Mod, I would say, like, honestly, man, like, I would say 80% of the time, it's just a 1-for-4 with boost because your opponent is going to block it almost every time. Now, with that in mind, I think that it's like I think it's a necessary card in Blitz because you want all the cards you can put on the bottom of your deck. Now, when it does hit, it's because your opponent's just going to race you and try to run you over. But it's like, I don't know, like it's pretty, like it's a really good card, but most of the time, yeah, it's just a 1-for-4 at red and boost. Yeah, you're not attacking on the first turn and me not being able to get a go again card. I would have been able to pressure you. Yeah, so I noticed that. I was expecting you to like give go again and attack again, but you not having go again right there was really solid for me. I that was really good. This feels like a chamber matchup to me. I could be wrong, but this feels like a chamber matchup. Cut chamber and cut a boom grenade, maybe? I don't know. There's only 10 blues in the list. You know what? Like, it's Azuri. They block well. Let's just... Let's run it and see what happens. This is more like theory crafting than anything. Interesting. This is like, this would have been a terrible hand to go second with. This would have been a terrible hand to go second with. So if I crank this Boom Grenade and then play Techlocore, I can Arsenal the Boom Grenade and then just try to... and try to set up a little bit here so that we can try to make some stuff happen. I mean, this is a pretty good hand right here. What does it say? That hero loses all abilities until the start of their next turn. I think I just want to block 3 here and use the Boom Grenade. Like, we're not going to get any value out of it. We're just going to try and abuse our opponent with the Boom Grenade next turn, so... and if I can't play an item off the top of the deck, then Sag just can't play an item off the top of the deck. It's just... it be like that sometimes. So let's go ahead and get the Boom Grenade here. We'll just block efficiently. It just makes it hard to travel to play Fab because I work 5 to 6 days a week. Oh, man, Logan, that's tough, dude. I didn't think about that. So I have to say that's one thing I really like about my job is that from where I work, Monday to... from where I work, like, Monday to Friday every week, like, I like... I'm able to like play Fab on the weekends pretty consistently, and I really like that about my job. That's like one of the biggest things that I like a lot about my job is just being able to play Fab on the weekends. So I get that. That's tough, man. I completely get that. It's a tough situation to be in. Them having the defense reaction there is just really good for them. Now, I mean, I guess I should boost to just try and hit an item here. Hitting a heist is like so bad for me. That's not what I wanted to see at all. I feel you, Logan. I'm a family man. I have to apply for visa for my wife. I have to do any gaming. Oh man. I mean, dude, a mod family is important, man. And not everybody like puts that first, man. So it's awesome that you do that. Don't ever let anybody tell you different, man. It's awesome that you have, you know, your family's first, man. That's great. Man, really hate, like, I know that there's so many reds in our deck, but, like, man, I hate boosting them away. Nothing feels worse than boosting away your reds. It's the worst thing ever. I live in a huge city, but almost nobody plays the game. We have 4 shops that run events, but talking to the LGS owners, they mostly have 3 to 5 people tops. I've shown up and just collected promos. Oh, wow. That's so sad, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's tough to hear, man. I hate that. I was like, I know that, like, man, like playing in paper events is like by far like one of the funnest things that I get to do on a consistent basis. Now let's not boost. Let's just throw this in Arsenal the zipper hit here. We'll just try to push some damage and try to set up a little bit here. Our opponent's just going to go to 14. They realize that they can block. They can block when they can. I mean, I'm just going to crown this away. Maybe I want to give Heart here as well. I don't know. Let's save the Heart for another day, I guess. Let's put this on the bottom. Draw into a pretty good card. I'm okay losing the Spark here. Trying an in-person Blitz with Dory tomorrow, so hopefully people show. Dude, I hope people show. I definitely hope that that's the case, man. This is spicy. Uh-oh. Hang on. Knowing, like, so I guess I have to, like, that's a Talishar bug. I would pitch my blue to play out my turn because I don't know that that's on top before I get to see my next card. And no, I wouldn't crank here. And then... I hate to boost that away, but I think I have to. I think I have to here. The last time I got to play a decent-sized tournament was GP Houston for Magic, back when Maxley actually had GPs. Dude, so Death, I come from Magic too, and I know that feeling all too well. Like, Magic is, like, something that does not see a lot of play anymore. Like, I played a lot of Magic. I'm gonna Arsenal this. I played a lot of Magic back in the day. Like, I grinded Magic for like 7 years, dude. I loved Magic, and then, like, I just kind of found Flesh and Blood, and, like, it just kind of, like, lost its luster after that. I think Flesh and Blood has so much less variance that I'm, like, pretty naturally drawn to that. I'm drawn to Flesh and Blood more than I am Magic, just naturally. I was one of the 3 people who started Fab at my LGS. I get that one day. Also a mod. Happy to see another family man out there, if it makes it worth it. I mean, dude, it's great that, like, you guys are, like, you know, focus on your families. It's important, man. It's like, you know, a lot of players in the community and, like, just in general don't do that kind of stuff. So it's really, it's really nice to see that kind of stuff, like, 100%. So if I keep this hand, I'm forced to, like, go down to 2 resources. So I'd be forced to get a 0 to 60 and then payload. So I think I have to say no blocks and hope that this isn't a Command and Conquer. I don't know. This is tough. Nobody plays Standard anymore. In Modern Horizons, Ruined Modern, everybody is priced out of Legacy. I mean, yeah. So I haven't played in such a long time, dude. Like, just, like, wholeheartedly, I haven't. I just kind of, like, stopped playing Magic a while back. I have not played Magic in a really long time. It just kind of, like, fell out of favor for me, I guess, after a while. Let's go Teclocore to draw into our payload here. We're gonna play the backup protocol, and yes, I'm gonna crank. Yeah. Oh, here we go. What's your jam in Magic? I main Storm deck. So I always really tip my hat to people that, like, play Storm efficiently, because that is, like, a really tough deck to play efficiently. I was always a big Burn player. Always have been, always will be, man. Like, I love Burn. I love red deck wins, like, style anything. I just, like, that's my jam, dude. God, these boom grenades off the top are just, like, and we're gonna win right here. Right? No. They're gonna go to 1. I could heart to get back a 0 to 60, right? Like, do I have a 0 to 60 over here? Do I actually just win the game right here? Is there a 0 to 60 over here that I can go get? A red one? No. Where's it at? Oh, they banished it. So, hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if I can win the game. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm trying to see if I can win the game right here. I don't think I can. God, there's no way to heart and play. I don't have a 0 cost red over here that I can get back. Man, that's a big sag. Oh well. That's a big sag moment. We were almost able to cross the finish line right there. No, we're gonna go to 3, and then let's go payload, then Teclocore. I thought we were gonna be able to win it right there, honestly. I really thought we were. I really thought we were going to be able to cross the finish line right there. Okay. I'm grateful for my wife. I think we both understand each other, need to have our own me time sometimes. Ahmad, I think that's very important. Carly and I, like, definitely, like, have our own hobbies that we take part in. Am I supposed to crank this? Or am I supposed to activate this? To go get, like, a 1-coster here? To go get, like, I mean, I guess I could go get a... an outpace here and play the backup protocol red. That's actually, like, a really good play. And the outpace, I mean, I guess the outpace doesn't really matter. I'm supposed to just like get a different 1-for-4 here. Like I guess the underloop. Again, like they're all just 1-for-4s here. Like what we're actually doing with them is kind of irrelevant here. Okay, sorry, I know I've missed a lot of chat here. I unsleeved my last standard deck today to sleeve up the Blitz deck. Abs at mid-range, back with Siege Rhinos, Wingmate Rocks, and all the lads. I love green-black something mid-range. So, dude, that was when I started playing. Magic was when that deck was in standard. I started playing during Origins when the when Yoel Larson won the Pro Tour playing Mono Red Aggro, and in that moment it solidified me that I loved Mono Red Aggro. That was kind of like my whole thing at that time. So I really started like, that was like when I got into Mono Red Aggro. But dude, Siege Rhino was like the bane of my existence for a long time. I played a lot of Atarka's Command to try and stop that card from gaining life. I remember thinking that Lightning Helix on something was just so dumb. Like, Lightning Helix on, like, just so stupid. So stupid. Payload hit with 2 boom grenades. Yep. 1 off the top. Payload closed the game out. So that's the big thing I'm noticing, is that Payload is like the MVP, like the all-star of this deck. Like, Payload just feels like the all-star. Like, just feels so good to me. Red deck win is his jam, but he's not playing Emperor, kind of sad. Drew, I really like Emperor, actually. I was telling Carly the other night that Emperor is as close as you can come to playing like Mono Red in this game. Because for a long time, it was basically Fi was Mono Red, and I love Fi. I actually I really want to sit down and figure out Emperor. The only problem is that I don't want to buy tomes to play it. I don't want to buy 2 tomes to play it. But Emperor looks awesome. I love its mix of arcane and its mix of arcane and attacking is just so good. Storm, very little variance each game. I mean, you're either doing what you're doing, like you get to see so many cards that like Storm takes the variance out of the game, like Sleight of Hand, Serum Visions. Like, I think did they put Preordain back in Modern recently? Did I see that on a ban list, that they like unbanned that or whatever? Like, which is just bonkers to me. First counterspell, now that. Do you prefer max V dash or more boost value dash? So, Ahmad, I definitely love the max V plan with backup protocol. I think max V is insane. I think that backup protocol has made the max V plan even more consistent, and max V dash, its biggest problem was its lack of consistency. So I'm definitely like in the current meta, I'm big on the max V dash, but as an overall player, I am more of like a value oriented, like mid-rangey chamber style dash player, because I like that mid-rangey blocking grind kind of thing. The best way that I can compare, and this is the comparison I make for like people, is that the red black Pyromancer deck, like the Croxa Pyromancer deck and Pioneer from like, a year ago, 2 years ago, it might still be popular, I don't know, that everybody was playing. That's kind of what playing mid-range dash feels like to me. It kind of feels like that's as close as you can get to like playing the Rock, in my opinion. Like, as weird as that sounds. But Oldhim was truly like the Rock. Oldhim blocked everything. Like, Oldhim was like as like mid-rangey as you could get, in my opinion. I have some Origins Nisses in the deck. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I missed day 2 of that GP due to a top deck 3rd Atarka's Command. Oh, dude. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't do that to some people, but I mean, drawing 3 of your 4 Atarka's Commands in Magic is like insane, because like there's just, you see so few cards in Magic, over the course of a 6-turn game, you really only see 13, maybe 14, 15 cards, depending on what deck you're playing. So it sucks to lose that way, man. I feel that. There's a lot of feels bads in Magic, though. I won my armor yesterday with Emperor. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Drew, if you had a list, man, honestly, I'd need an Emperor list, if I'm being honest. I haven't even like looked into like what the lists look like. I would 100% need an Emperor list to even like know where to start and how to feel about that. Like, to like put me in the right direction there. Emperor is like an impossible matchup for Dory, because you can't pressure when they randomly CNC you at any time and then 9 you at instant speed. So, Death, I think that's the coolest thing about I think that's the coolest thing about the Emperor is that like his split ability. Like you have taken the powerful arcane spells, which are so broken in Icelander and Kano, but you've taken away their ability to play blues. And so like it's just this like super interesting, like weird deck like that, like requires a lot of thought. And I feel like I've played like one game on the Emperor ever. I think it might be 0, honestly, but I think I played one game at an armory. Somebody let me borrow a deck just for fun. But it feels like there is so much intricacy to that deck because your resources are your biggest adversary. And like, I had never seen anybody actually activate the ability of the Emperor and get a Command and Conquer out of their deck until last night. Actually, I think we played a game last night where I saw it, and it was like crazy to see it in live action because like I feel like Tome opened up so many lines for that deck. I feel like Tome has made that deck so freaking good. Like Tome is just great in that deck, in my opinion. It doesn't matter when they have Tome and Flamescale Furnace. Yeah, that's true. So Tome and Furnace take away a lot of like that like resource variance, but like I feel like Furnace only helps like I don't know, like I don't know, like you're still playing all reds. Like you still like have to be pitching like 3 reds to activate the Emperor's ability. This is the Dory we were playing last night. We played against this guy last night. I feel like with Tome now you want to Emperor your CNCs out. Yeah, that like I 100% believe that. It makes a lot of sense that that's how the deck would be played. Is because Tome just gives you so much value. I didn't see whether we were going first or second. We are going first with no items. I would they're playing, yeah, it's the same Dory from last night. I would call that a big Sag. Guess I'm just gonna Arsenal the payload. Block with the T-Bone here. Oh, nice. Your next axe gets +6. This card is so cool. Like, the Dory deck has so many cool cards, in my opinion. Block 2, take 8. Oofs. So I'm going to play the Boom Grenade without cranking here. And then we're going to come in for 5, and then I'm going to throw the payload. Like I'm going to force my opponent to like give me some equipment here on this turn, and if their hand is good, they'll want to keep all of their equipment. Every Emperor game is just me blocking until they get a weird turn, me putting them down to almost nothing, then just dying to arcane damage whenever I try to kill them. I like that definitely, like, I don't know, like, I feel like that's probably what the Emperor wants to do. Like, do you feel like it's possible that like you're playing into their game plan instead of trying to play your own game plan? Like, do you feel like that maybe like, do you feel like there are other things you could be doing, or do you think that like you're just up a creek and it's just, you know, grab your ankles and hang on? I mean, it could be the case. I don't know. I don't know anything about that Dory. I don't know anything about the Dory and Emperor matchup. Okay, so this is the card you were talking about. Play in the swing only if you've attacked 2 or more times with a weapon. Okay, so it's just a reaction. This is the card that Drew was telling me about. Is this a new card? No, it's from Everfest. Okay, so it's always been a card. I guess they're not playing it because they're not swinging twice very often. I can only assume is the rationale there. I don't know. Big X, let's go. I mean, for them anyway, not for us, but you know. Was a very big axe they threw at us. I was not appreciative of that. Not appreciative at all. So throttle into heist is pretty good. Oh, let's go. I mean, they're not swinging axe. Like, I'm sure they're going to use that later, but that's a big win for us there. So I've tried fatiguing and tried racing. The only times I've won are when they don't have an Arsenal Demeritus Scolding. Tried AB 1, 2, and 3 builds. I mean, it's possible it's just a bad matchup, brother. Like, that is... people don't like to talk about that kind of stuff, but like sometimes you just have bad matchups, man. Like that's just how it goes sometimes. That is just how it goes sometimes. If my opponent gives me the Forge Bracers here, I was like, I'm just gonna like, I'm absolutely just going to just throw the payload here. I think we'll just throw the Heist and no boost because I like the 1-for-4 here. Like, I like the Zipper Hit on top of my deck. What have we gotten rid of? A Zipper Hit and an Underloop. They'll probably just give me both of their cards here and pass. Like, they're just like, yeah, like block, keep the cards in your deck. Like, I mean, just block and like I guess keep, like, let the Boom Grenade have 0 value because the Boom Grenade is not even going to turn on Adaptoplating to block with yet, which is like a big sag. I mean, I feel like we're just going to go get a Teklo-Core here. Like, we're just going to pitch. I'm going to pitch the Zipper Hit to play the Throttle and then Spark for a Teklo-Core. I'm also going to play this off the top of my deck with the High Speed Impact. Big value. Every time I do this, it makes me think of me playing basketball. When I played basketball in high school, when I've just always been like a shooter. Like, it's just like what I've always done. And I just like whenever I would hit a shot, I remember when that became popular. Like John Wall made that popular in college, and I used to do that a lot. I'm sure people hated me for it, but I used to do it. No, we won't crank here, and then I'm gonna Spark for 0, and we're gonna go get one of our Teklo-Cores. Like this ended up being a pretty good play. We get to put in an item and go get a Teklo-Core to like facilitate a big hand. And we get to arsenal a payload. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Hopefully we don't draw all blues. Oh, a little high octane action, huh? Ooh, high octane on top too. Kind of want to put this on the bottom. But being honest, I kind of want to crown this away here. Emboldened Blade is a card I've tried to make work so hard, but it's just a huge variance. What is Emboldened Blade? Is this the defense reaction card? Yeah, I don't think this card's very good, if I'm being honest. Like, that, just one person's opinion here, but I don't think it's very good. I think I want to put this on the bottom. Like, I think I just want to block 4 here and put the payload on the bottom and then draw the high octane here, and we might just try to go ham with the high octane here. It either does nothing at all or it wins you the game. I mean, I could see it winning you the game. I don't off the top, that doesn't like really strike me as like I don't know, like looking at Emboldened Blade, it just doesn't look like a great card. I don't know, like it just seems mid, like it just seems fine to me. So we draw the Zipper Hit. We can boost this away. Boost this away? I can't talk. Good lord. Okay. Is there any world where we're just playing this off the top? I mean... we're probably just supposed to play this off the top. Yes, let's crank this. Crank that. Like, it just feels like it's always correct to play that card, I think. Again, I hate to boost away the underloop here. Now, we can activate this to go get a payload, throw the payload, go down to 3 action points, and then shoot the pistol, and then arsenal the high octane again. And we're almost guaranteed to hit with the payload here to, like, make this happen. Like, I think that's the correct play here. We want to push through damage. Are they just going to take the boom grenade here? I mean, they just committed to this line. Okay. They must like their hand pretty well. I mean, they are at 16, so like... Heist doesn't really do anything, so like, I think we're just gonna throw the payload, keep the high octane in the underloop, and try to go ham again next turn. Blue push forward is insane. I'm trying to think of what push forward is. Is that like something that like Dory's playing? Like, is that a Dory card? So our opponent goes to 8 right here. No, they played that all you got. Okay. Then I think we saw them pitch this card last night, but not something they really got a lot of value of. Oh, they just blocked with it? They just blocked with it. Which chain link did they block on? Push forward. Your next weapon attack gets +1. If you have attacked with a weapon this turn, your next... Okay, that's kind of cool. And it has go again, so that's cool. Basically, your second attack for the turn gets dominate and +1. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, to be able to like give stuff dominate like that with a blue is really solid. Do we have any sparks left? No, I played one. Okay, so there's 1 spark left in our deck. I mean, our opponent's at 6 here. Feel like this is a little late to the party. Can't really play that, bud. You'd have to crack energy potion to go to 9. I mean, you can do that, I guess. You gotta let the energy potion resolve first. Appreciate you guys pointing out all the like silly things that I missed, like that they just blocked with it. Like things like that, like sometimes like I get so caught up in like trying to play games to the best of my ability and trying to like talk to you guys that I just completely miss silly things like that. So I really appreciate you guys helping me out in moments like that. And then we're just gonna arsenal the high octane here. This is looking really good. They're going to put this on the bottom. I don't think there's a reason to crank here. Like, so I actually want to decide if I'm going to crank here first before I actually do anything, because I'm going to be able to see my next card before I actually play anything. So... I think let's just play this. We're not going to crank this. Yeah, there's no reason to gain the extra action points here. And then I'm going to go BIOS update. I'm going to keep the high octane here. All right, here we go. For a defensive deck, why do they want to Arsenal D-React? So are you asking like why would like their defensive deck Arsenal a D-React here? I mean, if that's what you're asking, Ahmad, I hope I'm understanding your question here. Like if you're playing, oh Lord, we're lagging here. If you're playing a defensive deck and like, so having a defense reaction in your arsenal lets you play around dominated strategies or like other attacks that like might otherwise you might not be able to block in certain situations. Plus having like a sink below in your arsenal lets you filter a card from your hand that you may not want, and it gives you more blocking options here. BIOS update. Oh yeah, we're like BIOS update 1000% here. I'm just debating if we're actually going to play the high octane here, and I just don't know that we are. Yeah, we're just going to boost, and I guess yeah, we'll crank this one. Because we want to have the extra action point to shoot the gun here. Yes, trying to understand Emboldened Blade. Oh, okay, gotcha. So Emboldened Blade is really, like, in situationally can be very good, because what it allows you to do is block, I guess now I can play the high octane. It allows you to, like, try and blow up a player's defense reaction before they can use it and give you a lot of value that way. Good question. Good question. We're going to draw the 0 to 60 here, and then we're going to go 0 to 60. I mean, they're basically at a point where, like, on hit, they're dead. which is like, I think this turn. Like, I don't think they can block 8 from their hand unless this is a defense reaction. They have to have a defense reaction in their arsenal. And even then, if it's a Steel Blade Shun or something, they have to be able to... You're dead. You just die if you do that. Okay, I don't really know. I don't really know what... They must have just decided the game was over there. Okay, cool. Dash Database takes another one. God, this Dash deck is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this Dash deck. Hang on a mod 1 second. I saw your question, buddy. I'm just trying to type this up really quick. That was Dory Axe. We went first that game. We got the win. Boom Grenades won us the game. BIOS update with 2 Boom Grenades is insane. High Octane played super well late. Okay, cool. All right, man. This list is starting to feel better. I think the more games I play with it, the better I'm starting to feel with it. Like, I think Trent has really put together a good list here. Okay, let's see. So, from a Dory's player perspective, D-Reacts are your worst enemy because if they block your Dawn Blade attack you, you can't give it go again without having exactly 20 blades. So you need to use your attack reacts to push through damage and get the first. So usually people play attack reacts against Dory. But if they D-react you, they can just stop your entire second team swing by blocking the first one. So Death explained that very well, and I apologize, Ahmad. I didn't realize that was what you were asking. That you were asking like specifically like in the Dory, but considering you were asking about the Emboldened Blade, that makes sense. So yeah, Death explained that very well. Death was on top of it right there. Nice job. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Like I feel like this interaction right here just kind of goes back to like what I'm talking about all the time. Like Flesh and Blood is such a great community. Like everybody is so wonderful, and like people are always like supporting each other and like trying to help answer questions for like people who like are new or may not understand things. So like it's just great to see that kind of stuff. Okay, well, we played Azuri a minute ago and we just left it the way it is. So I guess I'm just gonna try it again. I don't know. Like I guess we're just gonna run it back. I like being able to arsenal my Toma Fandle. Wish we would have had an item here, but at least we have some good stuff to block with. We know we have a blue on top, so I'm just going to block 6 here. They're probably just trying to fatigue me. I like Dory Quicksilver because her Dawn Blade is slightly weaker, but even if it doesn't hit, you can swing a second time if you give it go again. So we played against that earlier, Death. I don't know if you were here for that or not, but that was, I think you were here, but like that was like, I don't play against that Dory super regularly, but like it's actually like a really cool like concept with what they did with the Dory there. I actually really like it there. It's actually really cool. They are gonna Azuri. Interesting. They must have a shred to push through their Death Touch hit here. Makes a lot of sense. Hell yeah, the community is awesome. Absolutely, Trent. Absolutely, man. The community is absolutely amazing. I mean, okay. So they throw a damage at us, give this +1, and then I guess... Oh, so now they get to equip this? Wow. That is not the line I saw coming, and they get to put Orbita class into play. That's really neat. That is really neat. No, let's not crank. And then let's go ahead and play the outpace, and yes, we'll boost. And then I'm going to go get a Teklo core here. Oh, yeah, that's right, Death. I'm sorry, man. I completely forgot. Dude, I'm sorry, man. The game's like all run together in, They just taking this? No, they have to have a D-react here, right? Wow. What is in their hand? Sorry, man. The games just like all start to run together in my head. So that's my bad, dude. It's completely my bad. What's up, Smurf? How are you, man? Wait, what the fuck is happening? Oh shit, never mind, juiced. I mean, that was actually like a really sweet play that they made last turn. I was pretty impressed by that. Okay. Have no idea what happened there. Have absolutely no idea what happened, but we take it. Boom grenade connects, and they cry all the way home. We'll take it. This is the same Dory we just played against. We play against this guy like a couple times a night, I feel like. We played against him twice last night, and we played against him once tonight so far. So we're gonna go arms. Like, oh, this hand's actually cracked. Oh, is this Axe's Dory? Oh, let's go. He's not playing the Axe. He's playing Axes now. Yeah, Mod, that was probably the quickest win you'll ever see. That was wild, dude. No, we're not going to crank. And then we're just going to pass and arsenal the high speed impact. Yeah. That was a wildly fast game. Just too good. Deck can win in one turn. Oh, we definitely did win in one turn. That was wild. I was very surprised they let that hit. I don't know. They might have just been frustrated, like having a bad night, and just decided to call it a night there instead of actually just like playing it out. So we're not going to play the other boom grenade. We're probably just going to arsenal it here because I don't think that we can hit with, but we could like, so we give 0 to 60 card bolters. High speed impact. Actually, we go high speed impact, and they give card bolters 0 to 60, card bracers, and then payload. Well, they're probably like, I don't know. We might be able to push through both of them if our opponent blocks incorrectly. But if our opponent has a D react here, then we just like get super punished here. They changed axes now. I feel the dual wield is more annoying than the two-handed axe. I mean, this is definitely a more like defensive, like in a more offensive style, like Dory, in my opinion. When I see this, oh man, are they about to hit us multiple times here? No, this is just for 5, and then I'm just gonna see if they can throw another axe here. I think they can. I think they can attack here. I'm not sure. I don't know. They might not be able to. So yeah, this is definitely like a more offensive build than defensive for sure. Oh, they can swing the axe again. Ugh. We're having to take a lot of damage, but we're getting ready to play a lot of offense too. So we're gonna try and play a lot of offense right here. We're gonna try and like really punish them right here. Why play Deep Poo instead of Courage of Blade Hold? Death, I'm not sure, brother. I don't know if there's a reason to. I don't understand that. I never have. I don't know. Like Courage just seems better in my opinion. Maybe they don't own a Courage. I don't know. This story feels more like Katsu. I could see that. There's some more relevant like on hit effects probably. I could see that. This is just Kasai at home. Dude, was that you that said that earlier, Death? Dude, I laughed for an hour when somebody said that earlier. Dude, I was rolling. Yeah, let's lead on high speed impact. We can always use this boom grenade to play something off the top if we need to, but I am like, I think we're gonna push through. Okay. Now we're definitely gonna push through, so I kind of want to play this boom grenade and crank it, honestly. I might play the deck you're playing right now for a skirmish. Drew, it's awesome, man. Trent put this list together, and it is a ton of fun, bro. I am having a great time playing this deck. It has been a blast so far. I kind of want to play this and crank it, knowing that we can push it through now. I mean, at least we should be able to push it through. That's what I'm telling myself. We might not be able to, and we might just get blown out here. Blade Hold says sword attacks, not just weapon. Oh, Courage says sword attacks. Ooh, I did not know that. Trent bailing me out there. Did they just take all of that? They just take that? That's terrifying. That is genuinely terrifying. They're probably about to try and kill me right here. And honestly, they might. I I don't know. That is terrifying. Courage doesn't work with hatchets, but it's probably a budget option. Okay, so I did not say that earlier. Guess great minds think alike. Yeah, it absolutely sounds like it, man. Great minds and all that. You know how it is. I mean, dude, if we can keep this hand. Okay. I'm gonna try not to block with cards from hand because I feel like the cards from there, like the punish us, are reprise cards. This is also just really good. Oh my god, why is this for 8? Jesus. I don't really think I want to bottom anything here, actually. Think I'm just content keeping my hand here. And then I guess they can hit me one more time. But I'll be at 7, so I should be good to go. Oh god, I just had to say something, didn't I? God, what is this, like 0 for 3? No, I had to pitch a red. No, we're good. We're good. We're in there like swimwear. We're in there like swimwear because just gets +1. Oh no, they can go get a glint. Oh god. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. Glint's pretty good right there. Dude, I can't tell you how high praise that is. I was so anxious leading into yesterday's stream. Oh, dude, even if like Trent, honestly, buddy, like even if I didn't like your deck, I would never like be rude about it or anything, man. Like I appreciate that people like want to hang out in the chat and they want to like, you know, like share their deck list with me. Like, and they want me to like, you know, like see their decks played online. Like that's honestly, man, that's a big honor for me, if I'm being honest. So I appreciate the praise, man. But I promise it is the pleasure is all mine, brother, all mine. Okay, so we managed to survive. Now the question is, do I play High Octane, play the Boom Grenade and Crank, and then just try to take like almost every card out of their hand? Or do I play the Boom Grenade and then play the High Octane? I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? All right, so obviously we're playing with a little bit of like weird information, like because we don't know what our next card is. But if you guys think we should play Boom Grenade, then play High Octane, or play Boom Grenade and like kind of go from there off the top of the deck, put a 1 in the chat. If you guys think we should play the High Octane and then play the Boom Grenade from the hand, put a 2 in the chat. So Boom Grenade off the top first, 1 in the chat, and then High Octane first, put a 2 in the chat. I'm curious to know what you guys think because I genuinely don't know. Okay, Death and Trent both say boom. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. All right, so we don't waste our draw from High Octane. Boom all the way around. I love it. I love it. I assume we're just cranking this because we want an extra pistol shot. So don't crank this. So if I don't crank this, I play High Octane, draw into this. I come in for 6, and then I come in with 2 Symbiosis shot here. You would crank it here, Ahmad? You guys would crank it here? This is the last turn, so crank. That's interesting. I mean, I guess it's like... I guess I can shoot the pistol one more time here. If I do it this way. So this gets 2 cards out of their hand, and then I can shoot the pistol all 3 times right here. And then they go to 2. I don't think I win this turn, though. Unless I'm mistaken here. You will die next turn anyway. Storm mentality, it's go time. I've always been the person who is putting Storm players in the position of it's go time. Kill me or don't right here. Playing Burn, I've had a lot of opportunities to just be like, okay, well, you kill me or you don't right here. I mean, they're not dead. They have a respite in their hand. If they have a non-zero cost defense reaction in their hand, they're dead. All right. Okay, so they're good now. They can go to 2 and then give me their last card. Shoot first for bad blocks. So with the extra, I guess with the extra, with the crank, I could have shot first. I actually don't hate shooting first right there, if I'm being honest. I actually don't hate that because it gives our opponent an opportunity to make a mistake, and I like that. I like being able to give our opponent the opportunity to make a mistake. All right, so let's see how many boom grenades have we seen. All right, so this is our last boom grenade, but we haven't seen any backup protocols, so we can go get a backup protocol. So okay. We can go get another backup protocol, and we're gonna hope to draw into a blue, although I wouldn't call it super likely. You win, easy peasy. Wait, couldn't you have cracked the Achilles just to win, or did I miss something? We didn't have another counter on the pistol. Yeah, Drew, we didn't have another counter. If I would have had the other counter, we definitely would have done that. So play this. Yes, let's go ahead and crank it. We'll spark for 0. Go get a Teklo core to try and set up a little bit here. Oh, I hadn't boosted, so I can't play the Spark of Genius yet, so I need to do this. Okay, so I need to do this and then play Spark so I can draw a card. So that all you got? Okay. So when the combat chain closes, when I play Spark, they actually get another card here, which is pretty good for them. Wait, can I actually just kill them here? Can I just payload for the win? Right, I can just payload and win. Because this is an instant, we get payload. And in the game. I mean, I guess there's always a chance that they have like a 1 for 6 here. Like if they have like a steel blade shunt, then we don't win. But I mean, they're at 2, so even if they have a sink below here, like which is the more common defense reaction, I would imagine, then we're good to go. Respite lets them live. I was not thinking about that, and they showed us the respite last game or last turn. Or no, that was a different game. So taking a little bit of a chance there by getting the payload, but I think getting the payload is correct there. Yeah, like I think going for lethal is the correct decision to make right there. I think that's the correct decision to make right there. Winning sounds like a good line. Yes, sir, it does, Lord. Yes, sir, it does. All right, so let's see. 8-3 on the night. How many games have we played with Dash tonight? So that was game 5. So we're 4-1 tonight. We went 4-1 last night, and we're 4-1 tonight. So, all right, Talishar. Now this was Dory Axes. We went first, I believe. I think. We got the win. What really put us in the driver's seat that game? Was it our high octane turn? High octane in the mid game to put them on the back foot big time. Payload closed it out. I'm honestly like this is like become my new favorite combo, like in this deck, just in general, is like, or like maybe just in Dash, like Dashio Dash database in general, has been to just play payload and boom grenade, like set up payload boom grenade. Like it's just felt so good. Like, I don't know. It just seems so good. Oh, is that Trent? Oh, got Trent playing Rhinar, huh? All right, they're going to go first. I feel like this is probably going to be a heavy fatigue matchup. I don't know. They could also just like rickroll me and run me over here. Them Dominates helped a lot this game, in my opinion. Oh, dude, absolutely. The payload is absolutely insane. Yeah, I think this is like we're probably just gonna run our 40 here and hope it works out. What is Fridge matchup? He runs Chamber, cuts backup protocols. He cuts Heist backup protocols. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna go back to the original game plan here. Bring in the Heist, the backup protocols. We're gonna cut Max V's, we're gonna cut Chamber, and we're just gonna play it like this, and we're gonna run the gun here. I think this is just better. Like, I don't know, like maybe the Fridge matchup, like we want to use this like Fridge match that he has set up. Like Trent's definitely like practiced more with this deck than I have, so he knows more about the matchups. But considering I haven't played against Rhinar yet, I kind of just want to see if we can get him. Do I need a F5 here? Flush Bag is really good. I honestly like that he does not have the 2-piece blocking equipment at legs, though. I guess let's just give up the high-speed impact here. Like, we'll just block 3. I think we need to block 3 here. I don't think we can really, like, our hand's good, but I don't really think we can go to 15 on turn 0. We just need to, like, take the, like, lose the red here. There's a lot of reds in our deck, so. Let's hope we can find an item here. I'd really like to be able to find an item off the top here. I'm going to throw the Underloop next, Arsenal the Outpace, and then we're just going to try and find an item off the top here. This might be a D-React. God, Trent might be like playing like Heavy Fatigue. Yeah, this is going to be bad. Do we ever want the Goliath Gauntlet? Other players I see also always on plating. So I know in CC, like, I'm pretty like commonly running the Goliath Gauntlet, like as a way to race, but I think that adaptive plating offers a lot of value in Dash Database. I think Dash Database is probably almost always going to be on adaptive plating. Is Trent just going to give me this? Interesting. I still think I'm just going to Arsenal and pass here. Again, this is a great hand. I mean, he can gain an action point here. I don't know why he would. I feel like Rhinar is honestly very good in this format. I don't know, like, what it loses to. So, I mean, I guess, Ahmad, to answer your question, I would say that we probably just always want plating in Dash Database or Dash IO, more than likely, I would say. I mean, I can just take 6. I think I can get away with just taking 6 here. What is this? It's an instant. They roll a die. He rolls a 3, so he gains 1 resource, right? Yeah, so he gains 1 resource, goes to 2. I'm at 12 now. Okay. I mean, I can't even block this efficiently. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go to 7 here. Rhinar loses to Dory Quicksilver hard. Oh, really? Really? I would not have guessed that, Death. Why is that such a bad matchup for Rhinar? Like, genuine question. I'm just curious to know why it's such a bad matchup. So let's go Underloop. Let's lead on Underloop here. So they are gonna. So Trent is gonna give the flesh bag here and a card, I imagine. No, he's just gonna let the Underloop go to the bottom of my deck. At this point, I'm at 7. Trent's just like gonna try and like kill me here, I imagine. Hey, that's good. We can play that, which is really solid. And then allow us to get back a red. I actually really like that. We're probably not going to be able to set up for a big high octane turn, so... I mean, Trent might just take our whole hand and kill us here. We're going to have a card to Arsenal, so... before I play that, I need to play this. I mean, yeah, we might as well crank. And then I can come in, not boost here. And then I guess we'll just use the gun here. Maybe I'm supposed to hang on to it, but I think we can just try to put as much pressure on as possible here. And then we'll have a throttle in our hand, which we know blocks 3 if it doesn't. Like, Trent's out of equipment here, which is good for us. He's going to gain an action point here. That's really good. And I guess I can always just... I don't want to draw the boom grenade, though. So Trent takes the throttle. Block 6 here. Oh, is that Berserk? Oh, wow. This is like hard combo here. Oh, here we go. Because we have a ton of armor blocks, so we can just win the race unless they high roll with Scab Skins and hit 2 Blood Rush Bellows. That's fair. Once Rhinar has to block, it's over. Which they always do in paper play. The dice always high roll in paper. I mean, dude, the dice high roll a lot more in paper than they do online, I'll tell you that. I've still won when they do that, but it's much closer. Okay, so that's just an abysmal matchup. Yeah, let's just block 6. I'm probably just going to use the... I think I'm just going to use the backup protocol to block with adaptive plating here. Really? So I could have kept cards there. Oh, I guess I knew that because he didn't crack that. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and crank this. Like, because if we don't hit with it, we're going to block next turn. So that gives us 2 action points. And then we get to come in for 6 go again. And Trent's going to block 6 here because if he takes, like, if he blocks in, like, an odd number, then, like, he's just forced to give it to us here. Like, the way Trent, like, cards block, the way Trent's cards block, he can't block in a way that wouldn't kill him here. I don't think, anyway. So, Spark for 0. I think we want a Teklo Core here. Like, I think Teklo Core is just our best option. Maybe I want to get a backup protocol. No, I think Teklo Core is where we want to be. And then, yeah, we're definitely going to shoot here. This is insane. The payload in our arsenal is probably going to win us the game as long as we don't die here. This deck is so good, dude. Like, even if we lose, like, this has just been so good. Okay, that's scary. You played any Emperor? You mean, like, have I played Emperor? Or do you mean, like, have I played against Emperor? I mean, that's pretty good. So, 3, 4, 5, 6... Which means I have this. So 3. I mean, I'm not going to crown anything here. So, like, is it worth actually doing that? Is it better just to go like this? And then block 7, take 3, go to 4? He's already pitched a Reckless Swing, so we know we're not just going to die to a Reckless Swing here. So adaptive plating, blow up the grenade. Almost accidentally clicked on the on the Teklo Core. That would have been terrible. Emperor seeming kind of crazy, dude. Nathaniel Emperor actually seems very crazy. I agree. Like, I think he's a very strong hero. I played a game against Emperor yesterday playing Bravo, and I just got rickrolled. because of Arcane at the end of the game. With so many young heroes, is the main focus for Fab, CC, or Blitz? Or do you think we will go the MTG route to more UPF commander-ish? Honestly, Ahmad, I would say that like CC is like pretty like mainstay of like the common format. Probably will be for a while. Inevitably at some point, the well, thank God we have Accelerator here. Like CC is going to turn into standard after a while. Like it's just what it'll probably turn into more than likely. And then I think that like Living Legend format will kind of turn into like a modern / legacy as far as like Magic terms are concerned. So like I think that's kind of the route that we're going right now. And that's kind of like how everything looks to like kind of like fall out. That's like just kind of like my take on everything though right now is that like I think that's how the formats are gonna like that's how everything's gonna turn out. That was a close one. I thought Trent was gonna get us, but like I honestly think this deck is just like so crazy powerful. I've created a monster. He said I've created a monster. Trent's hilarious. Oh man. Okay, so before I update the record here, I kind of want to like go in on like what Ahmad's talking about here because this is a big point. This is like a big what's next for Flesh and Blood, and like it's kind of like rant time / like story time, like with my games and like overall experiences with cards and stuff like that. Like, oh, what did Des say before I go on my rant? I have the feeling that Fab just kind of fucked up when they introduced arcane damage because every hero that can utilize it is broken. Like yes and no. Yes and no. It is like arcane is very powerful. I think arcane keeps a lot of things in check. Like, and I think arcane helps give you that like control instant speed style play. And I think I like that the game has that. I don't think that they fucked up with arcane though. I do think it's very powerful, but I don't think that they completely like. I don't think they shit on Flesh and Blood with that game with arcane personally. Okay, so Ahmad, I think that over the course of time, like over the course of the next like 5 years, because you got to think about how long, like let's talk about how long Magic has been around, like as a whole. Magic's been around for the last like 30 years or something like that. Magic has had so many years, like, you know, for a long time it was just Magic, and then they had like block restricted and like or block format, and then eventually they turned into like what I can't remember, like pre-modern format is what it was called for a while, and then there's modern, and now we have legacy. Now we have standard and commander. And we have all these different things because Magic has basically over time grown to try and like let everybody feel like they have something they can play. Like, you want to play standard? You want to play in a constantly new format every 3 to 4 months? Great. Here's standard. Have at it. You like old cards? You've been playing the game for the last 20 years. You want to use your old cards? Play legacy. You like powerful decks that do really cool things that cost somewhere between standard and legacy? Play modern. Like, you like the common cheap format? Play Pauper. You can build every deck for like $30. Maybe not anymore. I don't really know. Like, you like playing with your friends casually? Play Commander. You like competitive playing against that, like 4 people at a table? Play competitive Commander. I think that Flesh and Blood is moving in that direction. I do not think that's a bad thing. I think that James White cares way too much about Flesh and Blood to drive it into the ground like WotC did. WotC has basically driven Magic into the ground, and this is something that I would sit and I would talk about for hours. Like, I never played TCGs growing up. Like, I played sports. I was outside all the time. Like, that was my life. As I got older, I started playing video games some, and then when I got into college, I started playing TCGs, and I've loved it ever since. LSS and James White care about Flesh and Blood in such a positive, like great way. It's refreshing to see, and I think that is one of the bigger pulls about Flesh and Blood for people like me who come from other card games, who have watched Hasbro and WotC just become like, you know, money grubbing little like goblins, and all they want's your money. Now, I think that like CC being like the quote unquote standard format, I think that over time the prices will become more diluted like that. So prices will become cheaper and cheaper. And we've already seen LSS take a step in that direction. They gave us Crown of Providence, which was like a $200 headpiece for a while. Skullcap was $100 back in the day. I paid $100 for my Skullcap when I started playing Flesh and Blood. Like, they're making these cards, like the power creep is inevitable. Like, power creep is just what's going to happen. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Power creep is inevitable. And if you don't power creep your cards at a certain point, people will stop playing your game. That's also another point I would argue till the end of time. But CC becoming like a standard style, like standard pioneer, like style format. Like, I think that CC, technically Flesh and Blood is a non-rotating game, which I love about it, but it is. LL makes it to where things rotate in and out. Now, 15 years from now, Flesh and Blood's still around, which I really hope it is. People will be like playing Living Legend format who started playing when we did. Because they're like, oh, like Living Legend format, I can play like Crown of Seeds, or I can play this, or, you know, whatever's broken at that time. And they can just play Living Legend format with bans and restricted. They've already started announcing restricted cards, I think, for LL format, which is like super interesting. And like, again, a positive thing. Because I think the restricted format in like Vintage or Legacy or whatever it is like kind of cool. So I think that Flesh and Blood is moving towards like a more inclusive player base, where you, like, again, you want to play UPF, you want to play Commander, have at it, play with your friends, have a good time, play competitively, like, you know, whatever works. You want to play Blitz because you only got time for 30-minute games? Not everybody has time to come down to an armory on Thursday night at 7 o'clock and play till 11 or 12. Some people like to be in bed at 10 o'clock. So it's like, hey, let's play on Thursday night at 6:30 and let's be done by 8 o'clock because we played Blitz and we played 3 rounds. Everybody had a good time. Some people will probably only play limited and be limited masters. Like, again, like, I don't know. Like, and I know I've missed everybody in the chat, and I'm sorry, I haven't read any messages right now, but like, I just think that like Flesh and Blood, James White, LSS, they care too much about the game, and they're going to do every single thing they can to make sure that we as players stay happy while they as a company make profits, because they have to make money. Like, they have to make money. And anybody who wants to argue about that, like, like, respectfully, you're a boob, in my opinion. Like, people have to make money, corporations have to make money, or they can't put out products. And like, that's just something that I think people don't understand. Like, so I don't know. Anyway, I think Flesh and Blood is on a roller coaster that only goes up at the current moment. James White at the helm is a great thing to have. He loves the game. He cares about the game. You could hear it when he talks about it. You can hear it. Like, anybody that spent 7 games in the dark to develop a game and not talked about it, like, is just, it's incredible. And I'm honestly just happy to be a part of the amazing community and this wonderful game that I love so much. All right, now let's read the chat now that I've went on story time. Well, with the LL changes, heroes will be getting LL'd much faster, so people are going to have to pick up the new Wizard, Ranger, etc. every year or so. Yes, exactly, Death. That's why I say that CC is turning into standard slowly, because everybody gets tired of seeing these stealth formats and these stealth like heroes that are like always rating supreme. So they've upped the LL counts to where now, like, we get LL points faster, and now we get LL checks every week. I think LL checks every week was a step in the best direction for Flesh and Blood. 100%. 100%. Not sure if that's entirely true, Death. I think they're trying to find a nicer middle ground. When I put together the dash list, I bought my Foundry Heart for $40. Exactly, Trent. So being able to buy those cards for $40, like being able to buy Heart for $40 is awesome. When I got into the game, Heart was like $80, and I know some people paid like $100 for their Heart. History packs making Hearts cost less, amazing. Bright Lights reprint Teklo Foundry Heart. I have not seen anybody pull a Teklo Foundry Heart. I have drafted this format 10 to 15 times. I have played sealed of this format 10 times with a lot of people that play a lot of games. I have yet to see somebody open a Teklo Foundry Heart, or if I did, it's one person. It's a very hard to pull card, and it's in that chase slot, which is, I think, really cool, but you're putting more of them in the market, so it makes the cards cheaper. I think that's a great decision that LSS made, 100%. How does Fab rotate old cards that aren't tied to a hero? Because I know for a fact that there's some equipment that everyone uses, a super expensive Crown of Providence, Spring Tunic, etc. So I don't know that they're going to rotate cards like that. I don't even know that, like, at a certain point, those cards will get power crept out of the game. Now, that may be a decade from now. I don't know. But cards like that, essentially, at some point, Death will get, like, they will power creep themselves out of the game, in my opinion. But until then, they're reprinting Tunic. They're reprinting Crown of Providence. Like, they're giving us reprints to make these cards cheaper. Now, for people who like to collect cards, I hate that for them. Like, I get it. Like, and even the people that are in the market to make a buck, like, part of me understands where they're coming from. It's fun to have your hobby also be a financial gain for you. But I don't live that way, so I prefer to see reprints. I prefer to see reprints because I think they're fun and they're good for the game, and they let new players get into the game cheaper. So, plus the reprints incentivize me. Like, look, I have a Tunic. I own a Tunic. If I ever open a second one, I'm now incentivized to sell it. Why would I keep it? Like, maybe the price goes up 10 years from now, but that's a lot of time to wait for something. And, like, I'm really not that patient of a person. So if I open a Tunic and Tunics are $70, I'm incentivized to sell that Tunic to one of my buddies who needs a Tunic for $50, because it's like, boom, I get $50 because I didn't have to ship it. And here's a Tunic for you that you got at a discounted price. It's a win-win all the way around. Even if you're buying cards at face value, you're still getting them from players who don't need them. And, like, it's a win-win because players get to make money for opening cards, and they're like, they want to open packs. Everybody loves to crack packs. Everybody loves to play the lottery. It's just how it is. But, like, I don't know, like, the reprint of cards and like making all these cards cheaper is just, it's like, this is such a big win for the game as a whole, in my opinion. If corporations don't make money, they can't exploit the working class. Come on, guys. Drew, you know that's absolutely not what I meant. Like, WotC and all those guys got, like, money hungry, but, like, LSS needs to, like, but they're, like, at the end of the day, like, I hear what you're saying, and, like, there is, like, a giant problem in the U.S., in my opinion, with, like not to get political or anything, but, like, the U.S. is ran by one giant corporation. I 100% believe that. But, like, I just, like, that's like, Drew, that's definitely not what I meant, though. Definitely not what I meant as far as, like, LSS and them needing to make money. Like, I think that they, like, companies need to make money in order to make the game that we love, like, and pay their employees. So I do love the checks every week. Paid like 110 for mine. Ugh, Nathaniel, I know that feeling. I know that feeling, man. Talking about the heart, I assume. But yeah, the checks every week are great, Trent. I love it. Valiant Dynamos went from $65 to $110 with the announcement of the new expansion, which is why I don't have it for my paper deck. Now, see, that does suck, Death, but, like, I think you just can't avoid stuff like that. Like, I just don't know that you can avoid, like, stuff like that. Cards will spike before other sets come out. Like, I just, like, when a class gets announced in the new set, cards like that'll spike. That's every TCG, man. I don't know how you avoid that. Yeah, it's a problem across the board for TCGs. Okay, so yeah, Drew's on there. CNC and E-Strike are my bane. While I understand, like, while I understand, like, that CNC or an E-Strike are expensive cards, they're cheaper than they've ever been. Last time I looked, E-Strike was $30. Command & Conquer was like, Command & Conquer is like, what, $60, $70? I mean, you're talking about a generic card that could be played in any class. Like, $60 is a lot, and I hear you, but they were also like $120 a card when I got into the game, so I've also seen them come down a lot, so I have a little bit of a slanted opinion about that whole thing there. As far as everything's concerned. Where's my mouse? There we go. Pokemon is the only TCG that doesn't really have buyouts except for the higher rarity cards. I don't know a lot about Pokemon, Drew. I'm going to be honest, man. I bought two History Pack 1 boxes for $100 at a convention and was able to pull a Spring Tunic, E-Strike, and a bunch of Dory Majestics, which is why I'm playing what I'm playing. I mean, hey, man, that's a good way to, like, get into the game, though. Like, buy a couple boxes at, like, you know, a pretty decent price and, you know, like, open them and see what you can come up with, and then play, like variation budget builds of your deck until you can find what you love. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, brother. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Those cards are like Ristic and other staples being reprinted in MTG. No, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. 100%, Nathaniel. I did open a Crown of Providence in the first set. It released, and then a non-foil and cold. I am going to sell my spare because my wife and I would fight over... Wait, what? I'm not going to sell my spare because my wife and I will fight over the spare copy. Okay, I see what you're saying, Trent. I like, and in that situation, I hear you. Like, keeping it is great because now you and your wife don't have to argue if you go to tournaments or Friday nights or whatever. Like, I think that's a really good use of that. Like, when you're building decks for two people, you automatically have to spend more money, brother. The corporation joke was not a jab at you, by the way. Oh, no, Drew, I didn't take it that way. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was offended or anything. I was trying to clarify that, like, I'm not sitting here. I'm not, sitting here saying that, like, corporations need more money or something crazy like that. So, CNC is $75, and you need 3 of them for CC in every deck, every single deck. I mean, so, like, I don't think CNC's in every deck card. Like, I think it might be in every deck card of something that you want to play, Death. But, like, I hear what you're saying. $75 is a lot of money for cards. I hear you. I get it. And that's why I encourage people at their armories on Friday nights to proxy cards. I encourage everybody on Friday nights, Thursday nights, at your armories, proxy cards. Like, talk to whoever runs your events and proxy cards. I think that's the funnest way to play armories and to play things like that. Like, proxying cards is, like, one of the funnest ways to, like, get to learn the power level of cards and decide what you want to play in certain situations. And something that a lot of people don't like hearing, but, like, every single time I get paid, and I know some people don't have this luxury, so take this for what it's worth, I set aside money for cards. Like, I set aside card money to travel with, to buy cards with, like, for sets. Like, I do that every single time I get paid so that I can have that money to try and buy cards with. So that's one way that I kind of, like, try and budget to, like, make sure that I can buy the cards I want. CNC, definitely not an every deck card. Not every deck, much definitely. Mech definitely doesn't want it. Yeah, Mechanologist is a deck that does not want it for sure. It gets played in Teklo. Well, if you want to sell it for less than $70, I'm interested. Dude, if I had CNCs, man, if you're talking to me, if I had extra CNCs, I'd be more than happy to sell them. I think I have an extra E-Strike, actually. I might have traded it to somebody for cards, but I mean, I trade extra cards all the time to people because I want you to have all the cards. I want everybody to have staples of the game. I want everybody to be able to play all the heroes they want at the highest level. Like, that's what I want for everybody. But at the end of the day, cards is a hobby and not, like, not a way to, like, pay your bills. So it's a little tough to justify spending a lot of money on stuff, and I completely understand that. I've had to dial back a lot over the years. There have been plenty of metas where we've cut CNC out of lists and just put 1 or 2 in the side for Prism or Dromai where it doesn't even get the full value. Yeah, Nathaniel's like absolutely right there. Like, I completely agree. I completely agree with Nathaniel's take right there that there are metas where we cut CNC and its price drops a lot. But I think that there have been more metas over the like history of Fab where CNC is better than it's not. So, but there are still heroes that can function just fine without it. There are, yeah, 100% Trent. A lot of decks run 3 NCs if for no other reason than to pop dragons. That is true, Death. I have 3 CNCs in the sideboard of my Phi deck as poppers for Dromai, and because it was pretty good into Lexi, but now it's just because they're poppers, and I think that it's just a value card. I would find other poppers to play if I didn't own them, though. Like, that's something you could do in that spot. It's also good that it blocks 3. But if you don't have them, there are plenty of 6-power generics that can fill that slot if need be. Yeah, see, Trent's on the same page that I am. What you think the new Guardian's going to be? Caleb, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Part of me wants an offensive Earth Oldhim that I can play. That's really what I want, because I want to be able to play my Crown of Seas in an offensive deck. Personally, that's what I'd like to see. But I don't really know. I'm not too good at, like, saying, oh, I think this hero is going to do this or this hero is going to do this. Generally, I'm very wrong. And over the course of, like, a long car trip, like going to a tournament, I would sit and have those conversations with my friends and stuff like that. But, like, those things are hard for me to imagine in my head what a new Guardian's going to look like. I imagine they're going to stay away from the Dominate effect. I think that everybody has learned that the Dominate effect is just really good. Or I think if the Dominate effect is a thing in this set, it's going to be very dulled down in a very strong way, personally. Oh, hey, Crown went from $78 2 weeks ago to $100 on TCG again. I don't understand why it's going up. Like, I don't really understand why it's going up. Maybe there's maybe there's less of them, like, being opened, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what the rationale would be behind that. The market does weird things, Death, that I don't really understand on a Like, if I'm just being honest, man, just a lot of things that happen that I don't understand. Pump Guardian, Pump and Thump. Okay, first off, I like that just because I want to say Pump and Thump, honestly. Zach actually sent me a list the other day, and it was a casino-style Guardian list. I think somebody did a deck tech on it, like made a video about it on YouTube, but it was like a casino-style Guardian list where they were playing all the buffs, and I think that something like that could be a lot of fun. Maybe not super consistent and competitive all the time, but I think a lot of fun. That might be something to, like, look at playing. All right. I want to build a Guardian deck. I mean, dude, Caleb, build a Guardian deck, dude. Like, Bravo is a blast. Bravo is awesome. I played the crap out of Oldhim for a long time. Guardian is a lot of fun. Guardian's a very mid-rangey deck that really, like, rewards you for picking your spots wisely, and I think that's what I like about it. That's why they made Overpower a thing. Let Strong dominate. Absolutely, Trent. I think that's like again, Overpower was a great step in direction. A lower power level effect, great and limited, but a lower power level effect than Dominate. And I know a lot of people say that that's Overpower is what Dominate should have been, but you know, Flesh and Blood's learning. It's a new game. It's still a young game. We're still they're still learning and stuff like that. Please convince me to buy or wait twin drives now. Oh, dude, Ahmad, brother, I'm just going to level with you, man. I would not buy twin drives now if I didn't own them. Like, 100%. I bought twin drives for $15 a piece when the set came out because I love Dash and I play Dash all the time. For no other reason than that. Then I love Dash and I wanted to make sure I had twin drives to play Max V if I needed it for anything. Twin drives are like $40 right now or something crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're going to play Mechanologist, I think you need to own them. If you want to play at a high level, like ProQuest, Callings, Nationals, things like that, and you're going to play Mechanologist, you need to have twin drives. At the end of the day, in my opinion, but what cards you decide to buy are what deck you think is going to be good and how many, what your deck options are and what you're willing to invest into to play at that high a level. I played Lexi at Nationals. I owned 6 cards in the entire Lexi deck. I borrowed it from a friend of mine. Now, again, I know not everybody has in-paper friends that own a lot of cards that are willing to let them borrow stuff, but I own almost 0 Lexi cards, and Lexi was the best deck at Nationals. And I in my opinion, it was the most powerful deck. And I borrowed all the cards and played it. I refused to buy the Lexi cards because I knew rotation was coming, and I didn't want to be stuck with all that stuff for Living Legend format. I'd rather play Oldhim in Living Legend format, if I'm being honest. Just want to play Thump again. I mean, Thump is cool, dude. I never got to live in that world, but Thump is cool. It also doesn't help that Fab is a widely opened card game, so there's less product out there. Pokemon is probably the most open card game, so even chase cards are typically pretty cheap. Oh, gotcha. I see. You're saying that Flesh and Blood isn't open widely. Yeah, Flesh and Blood being a new game causes the prices to go up a lot. I think that the more players get into games, the more product you'll see, and the more things, the more print runs we have, the more cards that get opened, the cheaper cards are. Absolutely, Drew. Oh, you said is not down there. Sorry, man. I'm a little behind on chat right now. Guardian also is an expensive deck to build. 100% Trent. That's what I like about Guardian. I built Bravo off of random stuff that I bought, and most of it I owned from Oldhim, just randomly. I did not spend a lot of money building Guardian, and I really like that. You can get into Guardian pretty cheap, and you can play budget builds in a lot of ways, with Guardian, and you can play Casino Bravo pretty cheap, I feel like. And even if you're playing Titan's Fist and Buckler as extra blocking, that's a really good way to make a budget list. I know that a Nothos isn't expensive, but if you need that extra Guardian fridge, then Stillbred Buckler is really cheap. Really cheap. I'm sold. I will just buy them since I enjoy the mech gameplay. Absolutely, man. Dude, Ahmad, if you're playing it consistently, man, and you want to play at that high level, I'd buy them, dude. I'd buy them. If nothing else, just to have. I'll keep my twin drives probably forever, honestly, man. They're just so good. What do you think then the next set after Heavy Hitters is going to be? And I would love to see a Wizard set. Ooh, Caleb, that's a good question. That's a good question. I would also love to see a Wizard set. I think a just strictly Wizard set would be really interesting. And I think that's something that LSS would have to be super careful with. You gotta be really careful. You gotta be really careful with how you play that out. Like what does that look like? What kind of cards do you print? Like how many arcane barrier sources are there in this set for limited? Like that's really that's like a really, really interesting thought. Like an all wizard set would be really cool. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what's coming up. I don't know what's coming up after heavy hitters. Heavy hitters is the newest thing I've heard about. I honestly, like, it would probably be pretty cool. Like, let's see, what would be cool to go to next? Like, we just had Mechanologist. We just had some ninja stuff, like an Uprising. I guess Uprising was a year ago. We had an Illusionist. We just had some Shadow stuff, even though it was pretty meh. Trying to think of, like, other heroes and, like, what I'm missing out on. I don't know. Like, we got some new ninja stuff recently, like with Uprising and then with Dynasty or whatever that was. I don't know, man. That's a good question, Caleb. I'd have to really sit down and rack my brain on what would be cool to come out with next. I would like to see more wizard combo heroes. Same, Drew. Same, Drew. I want to see combo wizard heroes, 100%. It makes me think of Storm, and that's what I want to see from it. I did hear there's another Arcane set down the line. Good. Good. I have been silently assembling my Kano collection off, not on stream, just buying cards here and there for it. What is Casino Bravo? So Logan, Casino Bravo is like all of the aura buff effects that say at the beginning of your turn, destroy this, and your next Guardian thing gets +5 or +3 or +6 or whatever, and you're just trying to like throw a Crippling Crush for 17 or something stupid, like dominate a Crippling Crush for 17 or like throw a Spinal Crush for 14 or 13. Like you're just trying to do dumb stuff like that. Like it's just like really high rolly stuff that like not super consistent. Might want to wait till January when there's no tourneys to buy cards. Prices may drop a little bit. That's true. Orlando is this weekend, and then there's not another competitive tournament until February, I think, actually. So this is the last big tournament of the season that I'm aware of, Battle Hardened Orlando. Heading out for lunch now. Catch you next time. Okay, cool. Thanks for hanging out, Ahmad. Thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good lunch, brother. Mysteria next. What is Mysteria? What is Mysteria? Is that like a home to something? Shadow Guardian Elemental. Go on. You have my attention. At first you had my interest. Now you have my attention. I definitely feel like Leonardo DiCaprio at that moment. I would love a Savage Land set. Heavy Hitters is as close as I have for now, but I'm still so pumped. I am really excited for the new set, Trent. I am really excited for the new set. I think the new set's going to be cool, and I think it's going to be a really fun limited format. I'm super excited for the limited section of that format, honestly. Battle Hardened Cincy, January 6th. Ooh, there's a Battle Hardened in Cincinnati on January 6th? Ooh, I did not know that. I did not know that. Thank you for that, Toast. That is good to know for my planning calendar as far as planning out events that I want to go to, although Cincinnati's a little bit of a drive. Cincinnati's like 6 hours. I'd like to go, but it's 6 hours. It's a lot of driving in one weekend because I'd have to like take off after work and drive in and then plan the Battle Hardened Saturday, come back Sunday, teach on Monday morning. Ugh, that's a lot of stuff. I have to talk to Carly about that too. Also, I'm thinking about going to Connecticut for the calling. Oh, what was that look for?
Nothing. I just hear you talking about all this stuff. It's just funny.
No, I was like, Carly was looking at me after I said that about going to Cincinnati in January. So.
I just heard my name and I.
You just poked your head around the corner. You're acting just like Taryn. Just like Taryn. Oh. You'll be there? Oh, that's awesome, Toast. That's great, man. I hope you do well, brother. I'd love to go to Cincinnati, honestly. If I can get some guys from the team together to go, I might make that trip. That could be a really fun trip. I could definitely see that trip like being cool and having a good time there. I'll be in DC then. Okay, well, Nathaniel's out on that trip. Man. So starting the year off with a Battle Hardened in Cincinnati. A month later, I'd have the the calling in Connecticut, and then it'd be all ProQuests. It'd be 3 weeks of ProQuests the rest of February. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be a good way to start the year, I think. I think that'd be a really, really clean way to start the year. I think that'd be really awesome, actually. Really great way to start the year. January 6th, yeah. All right. Well, guys, I really enjoyed this like discussion here the last like 20 minutes. This has been a lot of fun. Like I've really had a good time like talking about all this. This is cool. Like I know that normally I'm playing games and stuff like that, but this has been a lot of fun. Like kind of like theory crafting and talking. Oh my god. Oh, Nathaniel. Oh, this is the hard joke to do in text, bro. That totally went over my head. I totally missed that. You'll be in DC then. Oh, dude, after you explain the joke to me, that's great. Probably ruins it for you, but it's great for me. I think that's what we are going to do, get the team and go down there. You talking about going to Cincinnati, Logan, or are you talking about going to Connecticut? Which one, or both? Or did you mean that you're thinking about going to both? Because that'd be cool. But I was like, dude, being able to go to both would be cool. I'd probably, for me, it'd probably look, if I went to both, if I went to Cincinnati and I went to the Calling in February, it'd probably be those two Pro Quests, and then I'd take a break until Nationals. Like, I'd still stream and stuff like that, but I'd probably, well, no, RTN season. Ugh, man, the grind never stops. God almighty, it never stops. He's taking the team to DC. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here, Nathaniel.
You love to see it.
Yo, Tam Cardwell. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you watching the stream. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? And how did you get into Flesh and Blood? Yeah, Ohio. Okay, cool. That'd be awesome, dude. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd like to go. I'd have to see how far. I'm just gonna look while we're sitting here and see how far Cincinnati is for me right now. Miles from here to. How many miles from here to Cincinnati? 5 hours and 14 minutes. That's not as bad as I thought. How far is Cincinnati from Columbus? Oh, what was that? I just got a random notification, something. Yo, Tam Cardwell, the raid with 27 viewers. Thank you. I appreciate the raid, man. That means a lot. I hope your stream went well. I assume you were streaming a little Flesh and Blood. I appreciate the raid. I'm down though. Okay, so Nathaniel's in. Didn't realize I was subbed because you're always on my homepage when you're streaming anyway. Oh, well, dude, thanks for subbing, man. I appreciate it, Death. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you being here. About the same in Kentucky, so about 5 hours for you as well. Okay, gotcha. We are here to teach you the UVS card game. It was good. Was streaming the MHA CCG, but I'm a fan of Fab. Well, dude, that's awesome, man. I hope your stream went well, and I appreciate the raid. What is UVS card game? Lie to your doctor. What an amazing name. I mean, okay. Let's just clarify. I'm not condoning anybody lying to their doctor. I am in no way condoning people lying to their doctor here. So do not walk away. Do not walk away from this conversation with that in your mind. You don't work that weekend? Okay, so Nathaniel doesn't work that weekend. So that's cool. Okay, so that's good. Universes? Universes. I like to play on words there. All right, so go ahead. As somebody who played a lot of Magic, who played a lot of Fab over the years, give me like a 30-second crash course on universes. Nathaniel just shot in the dark universal verses. I love it. I love the shot in the dark here. Oh, there's a link. God, don't let this be a virus, please. Oh, it's like an anime. I recognize that one. Izuki Meteoria? I recognize that one. I don't know where I know that dude from. Is this... What is this? Where do I... like? I know this is gonna... y'all are gonna roast me, and I apologize, but I recognize these characters from Fortnite. I'm not an anime fan. I mean, I don't like dislike anime, but... Yasuki, team leader. Yeah, where do I recognize this? Where do I recognize this from? Is this like One Piece? Is that what this is? Is this One Piece? One Piece stuff? One Piece stuff would make sense to me. Fighting game translated into a card game, basically. Tam has said that it's similar to Fab, but I don't know how to play Fab. You have a leader character and use attacks to try and KO your rival. My Hero Academia. My Hero, it's... My Hero, that's what it is. I recognize all of it from Fortnite, which I know people are like, you know, probably gonna like want to punch me over, but yeah, I recognize them from Fortnite. I've never sounded so much like a Zoomer until I said, I recognize them from Fortnite. Oh, but yeah, I mean, if you have like your hero and you're fighting to like try and kill your opponent or like knock them out, then yeah, it is pretty similar to Fab in that sense. Flesh and Blood is like both players start at 40 or 20, depending on what format you're playing. And you play first to 0 loses. And all of your cards have a cost, and all of your cards pitch for certain cards. And at the end of your turn, they go onto the bottom of your deck. And so you can like kind of like just play and like use the resources efficiently throughout the course of your game. So that's cool. Bro, what kind of weeb doesn't watch anime? Okay, listen, Trent. I watched like Dragon Ball Z and like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that growing up, but like man, like I know that like I'm like, dude, like I know this is an unpopular opinion around a lot of people, but like a lot of anime is just like fan service. And I'm gonna be like, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. Like it's just nonsense to me. I don't know, like I just like when I watch a movie or like when I watch something, like, you know, like I like the story, I like what's happening, and like a lot of those stuff, like a lot of those things just feel like fan service. And so like I have a hard time like really getting into those like kind of things, like because it just feels like it's trying to catch the attention of 14-year-old dudes who just hit puberty. Like, you knowing Midoriya from Fortnite makes me want to cry. You call yourself a millennial? I am a millennial. Get out of here. Just because I don't watch My Hero. Magic lands, but every land does something. Attacking is the combat chain, but every time you play a card, that card gets harder to play. Ooh. Blocking is like Fab, but there are zones. High, mid, low, and you draw up to your hand size on your turn. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. That's really neat, actually. I'm like pretty like perplexed by that, dude. Like just the entire concept of that as a whole, like is like really neat. That sounds cool. It sounds very complicated. It sounds very complicated, though. We've already had this convo. Listen, I know, Nathaniel, we've already had this convo, but there are other people here that might not have heard that. So I'm rehabbing this conversation just in case. I will teach you the Christian way to watch anime. I mean, listen, man, like as long as it's got a good story, like I'm down to watch anime. Like I still to this day like love Dragon Ball Z, and like I literally rewatched Yu-Gi-Oh! A couple of years ago, and I watched like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love that anime, like if that's even considered an anime or if that's just a cartoon. I don't really know the difference, honestly, but I love all of those stuff. I love all of that kind of stuff. So it's Omega Complex. It's both the best and the worst part of the game. Go ahead, Tam, demo the game to him. I feel like it'd be tough to demo the game to me like while like in the chat, but I appreciate the optimism there. Yeah, like complexity of card games is something that definitely gets my attention. Like, and if I didn't play Flesh and Blood like so competitively, like that's kind of like my one like real true hobby that I have. If that wasn't such a competitive part of my life, I'd be open to like learning another card game. I'm not here to hijack the stream, LOL. Well, Tam, I appreciate it, man. Dude, I appreciate the raid, man, and I appreciate you following me. I'm definitely gonna follow you back whenever I'm done streaming, so that I can find so that I can like watch you and like kind of try to learn more about this game. I like to know other games, even if I don't like entirely like understand them. I like to know other games. OG Lich King, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate you being here. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? And do you love Flesh and Blood? Or maybe you're just a raider. Either way, I appreciate the follow. It means a lot. Not nearly as complex as Yu-Gi-Oh, but I do think it's second place. I mean, so I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, and like Yu-Gi-Oh is the most ridiculous thing in the world. It's the only card game I know in the world where players know how something works, but cannot explain to you how the interaction works. And honestly, I hate that about Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh also feels like playing solitaire, and that's what I dislike the most about it. like you're playing solitaire, and also like just like the concept of playing solitaire and the concept of that your opponents cannot explain to you why they're doing what they're doing drives me crazy. I like to know how all of my card interactions work, and I that part drives me crazy. Welcome, dude. I'm coming out of Fab retirement. Sold everything except a 2-year-old Dory deck, so I'm getting my sea legs back. Well, dude, that's awesome, man. Welcome back to the game, dude. Welcome back to Flesh and Blood, dude. It's by far the best community I've ever been a part of, and by far like my favorite TCG I've ever played. So welcome back, man. I'm happy that you're a part of it, man. Happy you're a part of it, and welcome back. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon are just solitaire games. I cannot enjoy them. Legends of Runeterra is my jam, though. I've never played Legends, but yeah, like I've also never played Pokemon, but like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely just solitaire for sure. Before I dip out for the night, have a great night, Roski. Thanks, man. Drew, I appreciate you hanging out tonight, brother. Have a good night, man, and I will catch you later. Gotta edit some stream. Have a good night, dude. Absolutely, man. I completely understand. Have a good night, Tam. I was actually about to end the stream when you raided me, so I was enjoying sitting around talking, but appreciate the raid, man, and hope you have a good night, brother. Well, guys, that was it for me for the night. We played quite a few games tonight. I'm gonna look back on this really quick on Dash.io. We played 5 games and went 4-1. So, oh no, I didn't update the last game. I did not update the last game. Crap. Does anybody happen to remember what I played against last? I cannot remember off the top of my head. Anybody that was watching a few minutes ago remember what I played against last? I would love to hear about it. I actually switched from Fab to UVS and have fallen in love with the complexity of the game and still play Fab with Tarek on TTS. Oh, that's cool. You know Tarek Patel? That's awesome, dude. He is a really great player. Tarek Patel is an awesome player, man. It's cool that you get to play with him. Playing with a player of that caliber is awesome. That's awesome, man. And I remember when Tabletop Simulator was the only way to play. That was how I originally started out streaming Flesh and Blood, was through Tabletop Simulator. So that's cool, man, that you still play from time to time. I'm glad that even if it's not your main hobby, you still get to enjoy the game in in some background kind of way. Runeterra is the best online game. I'll take your word for it. Yay. I'm sorry, Allie. I know you're working and you're probably here to like hang out, but I'm sorry. It's late. It's 10:50. I've been streaming for like almost 4 hours now. We've been going for a while now. See you on the next stream. Thanks, Caleb. I appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Oh yeah, that's right. We played Trent. That's completely right. We played Trent. Yeah, the last game on Reinar. I missed a beaten tracks trigger and lost all of my tempo when you took the game. So Trent, I wanted to ask you about that because I was really curious there. I was very surprised to see you not use the beaten tracker to flip it to gain the action point. I didn't know what happened, if that was a mistrigger. And dude, if that stuff happens when you're playing, man, you should undo every time. Please do. I would rather play a better game like that than like you just miss a trigger and like say, oops, well, I lost kind of thing. But no, I mean, I appreciate you like, playing upfront and honestly like that. But like, no, dude, like that was, 100% I was wondering what happened that turn, because it seemed like that was a turn when you were going to throw more than you did. And I got away with like only going to 4 or something like that, I think.
Let's
Beaten.
freaking go. You love to see it.
Let's see. Yo, bye to your doctor. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, man. I appreciate you being here and hanging out in the chat tonight. I know you're here from the raid, but I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the follow. It means a lot. Beaten tracks trigger. Since Trent told us that he misses beaten tracks trigger, that's what I'm gonna put down. Gave me tempo, and I closed it out with payload. I do remember winning the game with payload. Payload has been the MVP of this deck by far so far tonight. It's been like, I would say unequivocally the best card. Like, I would say unequivocally the best card. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I started with the Tolarian dropouts. Ooh, what's Tolarian dropouts? I'm not sure what Tolarian dropouts is. Is that like is that like did the professor like have a thing where he like did about Flesh and Blood like when it first came out and like kind of got people out of it, like into it? Good night, man. Thanks, Death. Have a good night, brother. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. See you, Nathaniel. I played Savage Feast and had Swing Big in my hand to follow up with. Noted for next time. Yeah, Trent, I think that would have like probably won you the game, honestly, brother. Like, if not, it'd have been like dang close to winning you the game right there. That would have been really good. That'd have been really, really, really good. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, man, I appreciate the game. I noticed your name immediately when I saw you get into the when I saw you get into the game, man. I noticed it almost immediately. Gonna follow in case you check out and fall in love with UVS, but gotta head out. No worries, man. I appreciate the follow, Lai. Have a good night, man. All right. Now that I've updated the log, we went like 4-2 on Bravo, and we went 5-1 on Dash tonight. Blitz is feeling really good. Honestly, Trent's Dash deck, Dash database deck feels so incredibly strong. Like, feels like such a great deck. I've really enjoyed the games, and like it just continues to feel more powerful the more I've played with it. Payload, MVP. Payload is the MVP by far. All right, I gotta get out of here. It's almost 11 o'clock. I gotta go get ready for bed. I gotta work in the morning. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I will be back on Thursday. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. Carly and I always hang out on Wednesday, so if we end up playing Fortnite and stuff, I generally stream that a little bit. But if not, I will definitely be back on Thursday. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good week, guys.